is happening, everyone? It is a beautiful day. My name is Justin Woodward. I am the co-founder of The Mix and Black Voice in Gaming. Welcome to the 5th annual Black Voice in Gaming Guerrilla Collective Showcase, where we interview talented Black game developers who will share the trailers and gameplay footage of their creations. My friend Derek Fields, developer, artist, founder of Waking Oni Studios and BVIG Foundation advisor, will be hosting with me and hop on the sticks to play one of the games. To tell you a little bit about the BVIG and how it started, this showcase and organization was created in June of 2020 during the protests and demonstrations that united us worldwide. Black Voices in Gaming has gone from a showcase to a nonprofit organization which helps to accelerate the growth of professional game developers and provide opportunities. You know, the world has changed, but our mission has not. For the past 4 years, I've been the lead advisor on the Humble Black Game Developer Fund, which has funded and supported 40 games by Black developers globally. We are excited that through our parent nonprofit, Experience Studios, we will continue the work that we started at Humble and take it to the next level. We are proud to be Humble's featured charity for June, so please head over to the Humble Bundle page to grab a bundle, some games, and more info on the cause. We want to thank our partners for today's showcase, Razer, PlayStation, and Raw Fury. You guys are great. We couldn't do it without you. We can't forget to thank our wonderful broadcasting partners, Twitch, IGN, GameSpot, Steam, for hosting us. Don't forget to check out the Guerrilla Collective Black Voice in Gaming and Dames for Games event page to learn more about Black Voice in Gaming titles, buy the available games, or add them to your wish lists because it helps the devs out a lot. If you're looking for other ways to help, you can donate to Black Voices in Gaming's charity through the QR code on screen that is linked to Streamlabs and Tiltify charity pages. Any amount helps. We truly appreciate it. Remember to follow BVIG on Twitter at BVI Gaming and everywhere else, Black Voices in Gaming. To get things sparked off, our first guest, James Averett, is an artist and character designer behind the game Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch. Let's check out the trailer and get into the interview. What is happening? That has me cracking up every time, especially when Jay says, "Chronic Blunt Punch, bitch." I'm just like, it's.
Yo, I was focused in on the mascot that was getting punched up in the animated trailer. I was trying to figure out, like, when do we see more of that? Like, what's going to be happening there?
Wait, which one? Which one?
There's a mascot. Somebody's in like a cow mascot or something like that.
Yeah. That was the Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch trailer. One of the games actually I'm working on. And we have James Averett.
You said it right.
I try to make it as quick as possible so I could, like, pronounce those syllables, consonants, and all them things. You know what I'm saying? How's it going, James?
It's going well. Thanks for having me. How are you guys doing?
Thanks for jumping in. I mean, all those characters in that in the trailer are characters that you designed, which is pretty dope. Do you want to kind of talk about, like, your role as a lead character artist and maybe where you got started?
Sure. Well, the role was really kind of something that I aspired to and didn't know if it was in the cards for me in the long term. But when it presented itself, I was always made to feel like, hey, you can go big with your imagination, and we can always reel it in. And so I always felt like it was a role that let me be as creative as I really wanted to be, and that was one of the best parts of it. So throughout the whole process, I always had fun with it, and the goal is really to just make characters that looked believable in some way or another. And let's see, where did I get started? Oh man, I've been drawing since I was old enough to hold a pencil, and so as a kid, going to church with my parents, they would give me a piece of paper to keep me busy because I was always attention was everywhere else, and so I would draw different people around the church and then show my parents and make them laugh, and then they'd be like, hide it, because they were trying not to laugh in church, and fortunately, I had parents that always nurtured that artistic side, and they encouraged it. So that went all the way up through art school where you and I met, and I worked part-time doing caricatures for SeaWorld. And
yeah, like everybody worked at SeaWorld, but I think the difference is people clean the everyone else cleaned cages and you were drawing caricatures, which was kind of
I love that. If I could ask just really briefly, could you talk a little bit about maybe some of the stylistic influences? Because you mentioned, drawing, caricatures, if you will, of people at church, and then actually drawing caricatures at SeaWorld. Both of them have kind of a comic influence. What are some of the styles that play an impact on your artwork?
Oh man, I've always been inspired by just different people, and I've always kind of found sort of like a beauty in different features, different body sizes and styles and types, and different like facial features, and I would always be one of the people that
yeah, put it lightly.
To put it lightly, yeah. But it was like one of those things where it came naturally because you would observe something about somebody, so they'd be like, oh,
Right.
do you know Bernice? And I'd be like, oh, the one with the small face, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I never noticed that. And it's like,
I get in trouble for that all the time. Yes, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and so it's one of those things where it's like it always stuck with me, and those were the things that I noticed, which kind of lent itself to the caricature situation. And of course, growing up, our parents used to play Looney Tunes and like the Disney movies, and those all had really extreme character designs and like major exaggerations, and so that to me, along with that sort of comedic timing of the animation and everything, really made a huge impact on my style and everything. Yeah,
that's cool. How did you have any trouble kind of breaking out of doing so much caricature work when you started to design characters? Because it seems like it could be a habit after a while to make them look like the traditional caricatures that you would see in various, I don't know, I was gonna say carnivals.
well,
you know what I mean? Because you worked at the zoo too.
I worked at the zoo and I worked at the LA County Fair, so technically the carnival. I've been all over with the caricature. And I have all my fingers too, but yeah. But no, I did I would say the caricatures I always kept kind of separate from the other art that I did, just because for me it was a job, and I had some friends that did caricatures as well, and they they encouraged me to keep doing it because they said, they really like my style or they like my approach to it. And so I always kind of kept that, in the repertoire. But with the character designs, I don't lean so heavily into it. I just kind of draw on like the principles of it. So like, you might see it in some of the characters that I design, facial proportions, they don't all look like the same character, or they don't look like they're all following the same formula. So, it definitely played a role in it.
Right. That's really great. We saw a hint of some of the characters that are taking shape in the game. To what you can speak to, what are some of the highs and lows of working on character design? As far as like challenges that might come up or things that you're just really excited by doing.
I think the lows. Let's start with the lows and finish with the highs. I think the lows would be. Sometimes you do have those like walls that you hit, those creative walls, and you're like trying to think, how can I make this different? And or did I already use this approach to this character? How do you make things varied enough to where they look like they're still in the same realm, but they don't look exactly the same. They don't look like reskins or cutouts of the same character. And so sometimes that can be a challenge, and, just the pressure that you can put on yourself sometimes, that would be a low. But I think on the opposite side of that, the highs are just when you hit it and you get a really good character and you show it for the first time, and then everybody's laughing or they're like pointing out something that you like specifically put in there for that purpose. And it's just great when you really get a good character going.
Yeah, the characters are ridiculous. Like we would be cracking up when looking at and just like coming up with ideas. Can you describe a few of the characters that we have in the game? They're all like pretty ridiculous, but
yeah. So one of my she's still one of my favorites is Rascal Flaps. And she's like a really large woman on a scooter that tries to run you down. It's like a motorized scooter, and they, I was just kind of given the okay to get as ridiculous as possible, and she ended up being 80% woman and 20% scooter, and it worked out really well. And it was super funny, like a lot of secondary animation in that character. And what else? The phone drones were fun to design too. The characters that are all like looking at their phones, and they kind of all fit in that same realm, but they have that same like glossed over look on their face, and those were fun to design. So.
Yeah. Now I imagine because in the nature of the game, you have this ability to be able to like stretch the boundary on not only creating caricatures but driving home jokes that might come with that. How from a design perspective do you balance things in a way where there's still tasteful might be the right word here, but stretching it to the point where we know it's funny, we're here to have fun with it?
Like I said in the beginning, I was always given the okay to go big, and so I would go as far as I could take it. Justin can attest to that. We would sometimes just go.
There is sometimes we would have to be like, yo,
Yeah.
Not but like, yo, we may need to like push that back a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe offensive if we're trying to get a you know what I mean? If we're trying to get a mature rating.
It was like, we need to pull this back a little.
So we can stay within before the AO, right. Adult only situation. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Maybe it's like they said too much genitalia. Like you need like 5 less or something.
Right. It's like, do they need that many nipples? Really? Yeah. But, so no, it was like go big, and then you can dial it back, because sometimes it's harder to get something that's reserved to be pushed a little further, whereas like when you go big, you can always pull it back a little. You can scale it back. So that was kind of the approach that we went with: go big or go home.
And you were when you went to school, the Art Institute, you were in game design, right?
I was.
So you had to learn. You basically can you talk a little bit about how you learned how to you basically learned how to animate by yourself, right?
Yeah. So the funny thing is, I initially went to that school wanting to go into animation, and the academic directors convinced me to go into game design. So I had all of one animation class while I was at the school, and I didn't do too well in that class. But you know, I always loved animation, and I loved trying to figure out the things that made it work, you know, and the different styles of animation. So I always noticed like the difference between Disney and their like sometimes over animated short cartoons versus the Looney Tunes cartoons that had this snappy limited animation that really lent itself to the comic timing. And then, you know, also growing up watching anime and like, you know, different cartoons on Nickelodeon and everything, you learn what makes the animations feel cohesive to the style that they're in. And so that was my approach, was just gaining an understanding of like the things that made certain animation styles work, and then implementing those things into my work, you know, trying to figure out the frame rates and like how to make things snap pop. So.
Yeah. If I could just very quickly kind of squeeze in one more little question, and that's, you know, having taken the skills that you've leveraged for Chronic Blunt Punch, is there anything that you're hoping to do next with, you know, animation or character design?
I just want to keep giving. I mean, it's really fulfilling to create a character from a simple concept and then watch it come to life. And so I just want to keep doing it and just pass on whatever knowledge that comes with that. Yeah.
Dope.
That's the goal.
Well, thanks so much, James, for joining us. Tell us where to find more about the game and yourself, and what other stuff that you may be doing.
Yeah, keep an eye out for the game on Twitter, Facebook, you know, Instagram, all of those platforms. And I'll be working on a new project that I can't say too much about, but I will make it known once I'm able to talk about it.
Love it.
Cool. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate it. See you around.
James is hilarious. Great interview. It's awesome to see him glow up and find inspiration to grow his art. Keep going, man. If you are enjoying what you see so far, consider supporting our developers through our Streamlabs and Tiltify pages. Donations to Black Voice in Gaming support our mission of helping game studio entrepreneurs succeed. And while you're at it, check out our Steam event page to wishlist the titles on today's show and much more. Once this show is over, please stay tuned for the Dames for Games showcase, which is focused on uplifting our sisters in gaming, and keep it locked for the Stream for a Cause showcase, as they are helping to paint the world a rainbow. Next up, we have a trailer featuring games from the BVIG cohort, and we will then hop into an international one-on-one interview with Andrea Marsili from Marslit Games. Let's go.
Gotta go fast, bombastic. Puzzle blocks fall and break, that's magic. Gotta go fast, bombastic. When I'm solving blocks, spawn magic. Brain waves from the twitch, feel passion. For the closure, satisfaction. Arranging my passionate closely. I'm loving my time with the whole team. Playing online in a full screen. It was always in the back of my mind how I found place in rap. When my foundation was lost to time, it cost a whole statement track. Of apostle God's kin in a soft tin, going all in since the pots bubbled and acoustic sonic and guitar hymns. How I stopped them from accosting. Gotta go fast, bombastic. Puzzle bugs fall, then break, that's magic. Gotta go fast, bombastic. Puzzle bugs fall, break, that's magic. Gotta go fast, bombastic. Puzzle bugs fall, then break, that's magic.
Wanna go fast, fantastic. First you gotta learn to go slow, that's mastery. Otherwise, capsize the craft, that's tragedy. Like to thank all the niggas had to laugh at me. And I'm so sincere, they look surprised. The painter cuts his ear and I gouge my eyes. That's art, my dear, you know the price. I pay it gladly. How embarrassing, the upper handing, the always having, the never growling. My hunger prowling, unencumbered, plugged into wonder. I found the path and tore asunder. Is it my writing causing the thunder and lightning? Is it my immaculate style making a hater smile? Is there a pension plan for a poet in Wonderland? Perhaps a participation protection one could find place in? Guess we'll settle for a podcast placement.
Gotta go fast, bombastic. Puzzle box fall, break, that's magic. Gotta go fast, bombastic. Puzzle box fall, break, that's magic. Gotta go fast, bombastic. Puzzle box fall, break, that's magic. Gotta go fast, bombastic. Puzzle box fall, break, that's magic.
Welcome back, and this is so amazing. We're with Andrea Marsili, and hopefully I'm saying that correctly. You could correct me if I'm wrong. With Marslit Games, who is developing a really, really awesome game, Altheia, The Wrath of Fairy. Hey, Andrea, how are you doing?
Fine, thanks, Justin.
It's cool. I mean, you're all the way in Italy. I'm saying all the way. I know we're worldwide in this piece, but how is it in Italy as a Black developer? I know I'm jumping the gun. When I went to Italy, there wasn't a lot of Black folks there.
I mean, I'm probably the only one, but I mean, it's fine. The indie scene is growing up, and things seems to go pretty well here, So I would say things are going fine for Black developer here. Let's say developer in general. There is not like a Black developer scene here. So let's say for indie developer, things are going pretty well here in Italy, yes.
That's cool. There's a lot of like indie developers. I don't want to say a lot. There's a few indie developers that I work with in Italy, and like they're always like very gracious and awesome to talk to and connect with, and always have really cool projects. How did you get started in game development?
I mean, I mean me and my brother, because the whole Marslit game is just me and my brother. Started in the comics and book industry for a few years. We didn't really like it, and we've been gamer for our whole life. So one day I was like, let's try to make games. And my brother just said yes, and we tried to make games. I mean, I'm the programmer and writer part of the team, while my brother do everything that is graphical or artistic, because I can do any of that. So it was just like that. We've been working together basically for our whole life, So there is a great chemistry between me and my brother. So I mean, you wouldn't say Altheia is a game made by just two people,
Yeah. Is it just you, or do you have others?
Yes, just me and my brother.
Wow, that's crazy. Like the game, the game looks amazing. It looks so good.
Yes, the animation, the writing, the programming, even the porting, everything is just me and my brother.
We're going to pop some gameplay on the screen as we talk about it, but talk to us about Altheia, The Wrath of a Fairy. It looks really, really dope.
So long story short, the game is basically heavily inspired by The Legend of Zelda, the old one, like, Twilight Princess, or Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, this kind of Zelda. So we liked Breath of the Wild a lot, but we felt like dungeon were missing. I miss dungeon, and this is where the main idea from Altheia came through. We wanted to do a early 2000 Zelda game, in 2024. And also we took inspiration from a lot of anime because we are deep into the anime thing, So there is a lot of inspiration from Studio Ghibli and but even Evangelion. This is what we grew up with, At the deepest side of the game. I mean, the game is mainly gameplay and things to do. There is a lot to do, a lot to see, but we wanted to make a game where it's like those deep personal in the game, but where on the surface you see just basically a pure gameplay game with all of the deep meaning, because the game is mainly about dealing with that, because we have some rough year in the past, and as writer I wanted to do something with it, and I came up with a story, and my brother came up with the gameplay. We have like one single mind when we work.
That's
This
cool.
is
So
how we work.
can you give us a synopsis of the game and kind of what, the character and that kind of thing?
Yes, sure. So there are two main characters. There is Lily and Sadie. And Lily is just like Link, is a guardian. She has a sword and do guardian things. While Sadie is a monk and he use magic, is more of a thinking guy, use more his mind than his power. And together use both character to basically go through the game. You solve puzzles together, you live your journey together because they are both main characters. Both of them lost someone at the beginning of the game. They have to deal with it, and they have to learn from each other. They have to learn to cooperate. Your power became more powerful, and you became more cooperative while you advance through the game. The more you play, the more the relationship change. The more the relationship change, the more you can do in terms of gameplay.
That's so there's immersive elements to it. As you're doing something, it opens up different pathways.
Yes. As I said, like in the old Zelda, you get a new power and you get to explore new areas, that you couldn't explore before, or you go back to a dungeon, because we have dungeon. You go back to a dungeon that you couldn't really fully explore, and now that you can use the new power you obtain to explore new areas in the said dungeon and learn more about the lore of the game and advance to the story.
Did you use real life elements to draw from when you were writing the story? What was the writing process like?
I mean, the writing process is a huge mess because because you have to adapt to what's happening. Game development is not a straight line, and whoever is telling the storyline is lying. So I had the story at the beginning, and while I was developing, while we were creating, I changed bits and parts here and there. The core story is there, is 100% the same that it was the first day, but basically, not say every day, but basically for the first half of the development, everything changed regularly, because you work on system, you work on the character, and you learn more on the character. Even while you write them, you think with their mind, and thinking with their mind, you learn more about them. So you want to change something in the story. So there is not a real writing process, as there is not a real normal development process. You have we don't make concept, we don't do anything in between the idea and the realization. I come up with an idea and my brother just visualizes it in his mind, and it goes straight on creating it. You know,
That
if I
totally
have
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, I have a character. I read about this character, and my brother can see it how I imagine it, exactly how I imagine it. I don't know how that works, but it's like that, you know.
No, that totally makes sense. Are there like certain characteristics that you're drawing from like friends and family as you're developing the characters, or is it just like you have this idea of this character and like you want to make this specific idea and character come to life?
You know, there is a little bit of us in the character, not really families, but mainly me. Again, me and my brother in the character. You know, not people I know, but it's a way. Writing is a way of dealing with what happened to me. You know, mainly to me because I'm the brother. You know, but what happened to me also happened to my family and my brother because we're all together. You know, so both characters are just a mirror of me. Yes, a mirror of me. Let's say that. Both
That's
characters.
that's cool. Does it draw from like as you like how you were getting to your family was getting to Italy? Or I know earlier before we even jumped on, you were talking
Yeah.
about how your family
Mhm.
left Somalia, right?
Yes, yeah, yes. I mean, my mom, my father was from Italy, but no, it's not really. There's not really that, no. But there is, as I said, there is a lot about my past. Like my past 10 years are probably there is a lot there, a lot, really, like a lot. I don't want to spoil anything because if I say
Yeah.
something, I'm gonna spoil something in the game. So I don't really want to say too much. But yes, there is definitely a lot about my past, my life, and everything. Even it doesn't look like a game, you know, this heavy story game where there is the developer that put all his life inside the game, and you can clearly see it. You know, you really need to understand it. Previously, I said that one of the inspiration was Evangelion, and Hideaki Anno put a lot of him inside the anime, and if you just saw it, you can grasp it. But if you really pay attention, you can see what he was going through and his life and idea in his creation. And I want to do the same thing. I won't manage to do it, but this is the idea, let's say.
That's cool. I think just, people are interested in, indie creators because they're putting so much personality into the game. So it's like it's comforting to see that you're coming from a place of just, pure passion and how
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
putting this together. What has been the journey like as you've been developing the game? Like how long have
Mhm.
you been making the game? What has been your path to
Mhm.
almost completion?
Uh, like hell on earth, you know, it was tough. It's tough. We've been through a lot of nice, good moment, a lot more of bad moment. But as of the game, as of the writing process, we try to use everything that happened to us and put it in the game. You know, even if we've been through a lot of bad time, you know, we are close to finish the game. We are pretty satisfied to how it's coming out, you know, and the whole process, the whole journey was, I don't know, at this moment, something I wouldn't do again. But I know that as soon as I finish this game, I'm going to jump right into the next one, you know. So
Yeah, you're glad.
I don't know if I hate myself or is something
I think it.
wrong about me, but it's like that, you know.
No, I feel you. I mean, I'm, as a developer myself, I'm the same thing. I feel it's like a glutton for punishment, as they
Mm,
say, where I'm like, it's painful sometimes, but it's
yes,
a journey. Like it's a very interesting. There's a lot of twists and turns, and at the end of the day, you've created something. So,
yeah,
congratulations for getting this far. You know what I mean? And like making
yeah.
something that's like
Thank you.
it's very impressive, you know? Yeah, that's cool. It's great that you're able to also express that. Are what are some of the trials and tribulations that you've had? Like, can you just name maybe one that other developers may go through?
So the main thing about this is going to be like taking it from far, 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 but this main thing about this whole industry and then is that the people making the game are not the people taking the decision. And so there is some miscommunication, you know. This is one thing that, I think a lot of developers can relate to. And other things is I hate cloud stuff, asynchronous stuff, but it is more of a programmer's things. And other than that, I think I really like the journey of making the game. Even if, as I probably said, I hate it, but I really like it because you get to deal with your own thoughts. You Even if it sounds boring, you get to stare at a screen for like 12, 13 hours a day because we've been crunched like from day one and so on. But you get to stare at the screen for 15-hour, 14-hour days, and you think a lot, And for me, for how I am, it's great, It do a lot of good for me, at least mentally.
That's no, I feel you on that. Yeah, thanks for sharing for sure. So where can we find out more about Altheia, the Wrath of Aferi?
For sure, Steam wishlist, please. But also Twitter and Instagram. I don't post that often because I basically don't have a life. But when I remember that I have Twitter and like x.com or call it how you want, and Instagram, I post about the game. Yes, these are the main channel where you can find us. Yes, for sure.
Oh, okay, cool. I know you don't want me to necessarily ask because I know it's going to be done when it's done. Do you have a a time frame? 2025, 2026?
Yes, during my lifetime for sure.
Okay.
But from the end of this year and beginning of the next one.
Okay, great. That's awesome. That's good to hear. At least you have some kind of, light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes. Light at the end of the tunnel.
Cool. Right. Well, thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank
it's
you,
awesome to hear your story, and we're gonna show some dope gameplay footage, and folks definitely wishlist the game on Steam right now to support Marslet. Andrea and his family have such a fascinating indie story. I can't wait to play their game and definitely need to go to Italy for some delicious food and game tasting. No buco di beppo. Shout out to Sean Alexander Allen, one of the leaders of BVIG, and all the devs for showing their latest and greatest in that trailer. If you missed some of the dope developers and games from BVIG, check out our website and follow us on Twitter/X at BVI Gaming. The Dames for Games and Stream for a Cause showcases are up next, so please keep it locked after the show. Now let's keep things rolling to our final conversation and game demo with our friend Tomas Gomez, BVIG alumni, industry vet, and the founder of Pancake Games Studios, who are about to release their title, Slime Heroes. was amazing. The music is so well orchestrated. We got Tomas Gomez here chilling with us, an alumni of BVIG.
That's right.
BGDF. Like, we connected during the Guerrilla Collective of 2021, I think, like at that time. But yeah, let's bring him in.
Yeah, really excited to have you here.
Slime Heroes looks so sick. It's just progressed so well. It sounds great. Like, the action looks great. The transformations are so slick. It's so cool to see the progression.
Yeah, it's been an amazing experience. Like, this was the first, I started the studio, and this is the first game I've been making it by myself, and I've gotten to meet great people like y'all and joining different groups like Black Voices in Gaming, and it's been a great experience getting to build this game and grow a team. And I appreciate all the good vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
Always good vibes. So I'm going to be on the controller here. So, multitasking is always a myth for me, getting to talk and play at the same time. But I got to know, like, what's been behind some of the lovely inspirations, the vibes that are being shared with this, because it's whimsical. It's like, it's got everything.
Mm-hmm. We wanted to build something that was very welcoming and wholesome, and so basically all of our decisions, both on the art and design, we wanted it to be very inclusive and we wanted to build a world that people wanted to stay in. And so art, we wanted to be very like colorful and vibrant. Nothing, even our most scariest areas, still have some wholesomeness to them, some charm. And then within the design itself, like even though this is like an action game, like we are trying to build stuff to where like you're never, for example, you're never killing an enemy, you're saving them and doing the thing where you like remove the corruption, little creatures pop out and stuff like that. So we just try to add as much wholesome and charm as possible into this game.
Yeah, it's definitely felt. Though I don't know if I saved the one creature that I knocked off the cliff a moment ago. They might have a hard time getting back to me.
Oh, no, they're fine.
I'm putting faith in you.
Yeah,
it's very cinematic. I mean, it looks like to the stature of a AAA game, really. AAA game, which is very impressive. And the music, it sounds like you actually hired a classical orchestra. So, but I'm, you know what I mean? I'm maybe I'm like fronting a little bit, but how did that happen? Like, how did you come up with
so we were really lucky. I think this was the first hire for the studio. I was by myself. I was like on Twitter trying to post as much as possible, like build that following. And then this person reached out to me. I'd done this post showing off one of our biomes, the cave biome, and they reached out to me and basically took the tweet that I'd done of a video of the cave area and did music to it. And their name is James Lawrence, and it's actually their intro into the video game industry. So this is the first game they've worked on, but they did fantastic in that little clip. And I reached back out to them like, this is great. Do you want to do the actual music for the game? And so, and we've been working ever since. And they were the first people. They were the second person to come onto the project and help out on Slime Heroes.
It's amazing to hear how your title has really created an influence and impact on somebody to want to provide some music at that capacity and fundamentally support the tone and vision for the game. What else is ahead in that vision for players? What are they intending to experience, and where does this world take them to?
Yeah, so like this is definitely like a huge world. There's lots of different areas to explore. The main mechanic for your character, as a slime, you can actually absorb the skills that you see that the enemies are using. And so you're kind of exploring, finding different enemies, taking their skills, and then combining those into brand new skills. And so there's like almost like a Kirby-esque to it where you're taking the enemy skill, but then you can mix and match them and build brand new ones.
Wow.
And then, there's just tons of exploration. We have done a bunch of biomes. There's going to be lots of boss fights, which will be the hardest combat in the game. There will be more cinematics, more great music, and a story that we've been developing for a while now that we're pretty excited to share.
Yeah.
What made you I know you kind of talked about this in the beginning, but slimes, like what fascinates you about slimes?
So
It's all some Barbara Walter stuff, but it's not at all. I mean, it's like
this is
it's like
not going to be
that deep,
appropriate
son.
for the stream. No. No. It's like when this. So I was by myself, like first figuring out this game idea, and I was trying to like figure out. So there's two real reasons why we went with slimes, and one was I wanted to find a character that could be charming, that players could associate with and understand. And slimes are one of the monsters that you commonly see. I think anyone who's played any type of mostly fantasy game, like they've probably seen a slime and they know that type of monster. And so
Right.
something that's kind of relatable that people understand. And then we also wanted to tell a story. So like the overarching story here is actually we're trying to tell a story of a race that got oppressed, and basically the world doesn't view them as something that is beneficial to this world. And so you'll see a lot of interactions with different NPCs and how they view slimes in this world. And basically your perseverance and wanting to help this world kind of alleviate or helps that viewpoint on you and show that you're actually this thing that seemed useless to the world actually can be a hero.
So what happened to that character right there? It was so cute, and then it turned into this like actually look cool looking villain.
It was a very cool transition.
Yeah, it looked pretty badass.
So yeah, so like I said, like all the creatures. So every monster that you're fighting, you're actually trying to remove that corruption and save them. So right now you're in the cave biome. So all the creatures that you're saving here are this race called the Wiggles. And every biome, the next biome after this will be forest. There's this there's this own race here called the Boti, and you'll be saving them. And as you save more and more of them, they'll actually help you in an adventure and giving you like equipment and stuff like that to use later.
It's awesome how you're flipping the script that way. Yeah, because slime are like the lowest, denominator when it comes to those. You're just fighting tons of slimes and some of them.
Yep.
In fantasy games. So that's interesting.
It's well timed too, because if I remember correctly, there's a few different anime series that are interpreting that same sort of relationship with the slime character now being the protagonist, and so I feel like you found your target audience. One of the things that I want to comment on. Oh, sorry. Please go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, we're definitely there's a handful of those animes out now, and then we've noticed we correlate very well with that. Which is...
Yeah, it's definitely felt. Having the opportunity to play this directly, I've discovered a handful of combat moves. I'm changing into a fist and an anvil. You've played so much into the characterization of like how much personality a slime could have, which is again just really charming. Could you expand a little bit more about the combat? I've gathered weapons. I have different combat moves and things.
Yes. So the main push and pull is, so you have 3 skills that you can customize and build to whatever you want. So for example, for that, like early on in this area, you can get 2 skills, a projectile and a whirlwind. And so the whirlwind will pull enemies towards it. Projectile is a pretty basic projectile. It shoots a single projectile in front of you along a path. You can combine them. So if you do like a projectile whirlwind, you can actually have a whirlwind that shoots it and then is actually a projectile that's moving along the path and pulling enemies to it along its way. And then if you do it the other way, you can have a projectile that's now spinning around you. And so that's like a core system to the combat. And then every time you use a skill, you're actually using part of that blue bar. And so you'll use skills, that'll empty out, and the only way to refill that is to get melee hits in. And so there'll be a bunch of different melee weapons you can get, hopefully, and then ideally every person can find a melee weapon that matches their playstyle. And you'll be using melee weapons to fill back up that bar. So there's a nice push and pull of like using your magic skills, then getting in there, doing a couple melee hits, doing magic, and going back and forth. And then there'll be some ultimate skills you can get later on in the game after defeating bosses that you'll be able to use. It's very big, impressive skills.
And
Yeah.
there's multiplayer support in the game.
Yeah, so we've been working hard, and we have a demo that people can play right now, single player. They can also play online, so they can play with a friend. It's 2 people, but you can enjoy the entire experience together. From right after creating your character, you can join each other and play from the tutorial all the way to the end credit screen. We wanted to, I think as a studio, we want to build games where people can share experiences with each other, and that was something that was important to me. And so yeah, so this game you can play with a friend or a family member through the whole thing.
That's lovely. You didn't mention voice acting. We have voiceover as well. Like,
Yeah.
when I pulled up on this character, he started talking and it's wonderful. So like, yeah, would love to hear more about that too.
Yeah, like we have voice acting for almost all the characters. I think the only characters that don't have voice acting are the little creatures you save in the biomes, but all of our NPCs, the bosses, have voice acting. We thought that was really important to add that charm and character and personality to at least the core cast. And so yeah, so there's VO through the entire game.
Yeah, it's like all of the nuance to the idle animations just from the characters. It's so seamless. How do you view the characterization of the animation? Like, how did you go about like establishing what you wanted the game to feel like?
So we definitely early on we were trying to figure out what were some things that we could do as a slime as a main character. Like, what are some unique things that we can do there? And so we were like exploring a bunch, and it's like you'll see the slime character just in their idle animation, like they'll occasionally wave to the player, trying to create that bond with the player, and they'll turn themselves into a hand.
Yeah.
Also it was pointed out that during combat, if you do a jump attack, they'll turn into like an anvil or anything. We just wanted to utilize, we have a character that's this amorphous thing that can change shape, and so we wanted to really utilize that.
That was cool. You turned to a fist right there.
It did.
I saw the boot. I'm like, I'm gonna be a boot all day.
There's also like hats out there where you can personalize your slime, and so you'll actually change the silhouette of your slime to kind of personalize.
That's fun.
Anywhere from like, what is it? We have sunglasses or like spikes coming out the top of your slime's head. There's like a top hat. Slime top hat. Yeah, we wanted to try to add as much character to this as much as possible. So trying to find as many opportunities that we could.
Is that the inventory section when you were, or a tree system? What was
These are skills that I can equip, which are the ones that the slime character is learning from or sort of gaining from all the different enemies. And then there's my my menu here where I can equip my weapons and my hat.
And then in the skill menu you can actually, there's a second slot underneath that main slot that you can click on and then add that secondary. So if you added a projectile to your whirlwind right now, it changes the properties of that skill.
Oh, wow. Okay,
So you can get duplicates of the skills, but that's because you can mix and match them, and then the order matters also.
Tight. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
And then you'll see a third slot, like later in the game, you'll find damage types. So you can add like burning damage or ice damage, or I think we have like 12 different damage types that will be able to customize your skills even more.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us about the release. Like, you're eking towards the release.
We're getting so close. So we. I mentioned it earlier. This is our first public demo on Steam. That is now available, that players can experience it. So we're really excited for people to get in there, get their hands in there, get feedback from that. And then we're working on getting this game out this year. We don't have a specific date set, but we're getting close, and so it's great to just get this public demo out. And see what the player base is like, and hopefully they can join our Discord and we can interact with them. And we're really open with like getting feedback and responding to players. So we're really excited for this demo to be out.
What platforms?
Yeah, so right now the demo is going to be available on Steam. We are developing the game for multiple platforms. Right now, we've only announced Xbox for sure when we initially launch, but we are looking at other platforms potentially.
That's
But
awesome.
this demo will be on Steam.
The game looks really dope. The progression of it is so awesome, and it's great to see that you've built a team that can
Thank
put
you.
together something that this is this exquisite. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
The team's been great. Like we're a small team. We're 7 now, but a lot of them are like first time in the industry, and they're just really passionate and want to like. There's just as much excited for Slime Heroes as I am. So like it's been great being able to work with all of them.
Awesome.
Making
Where
new
can we?
heroes out of slime heroes.
Dude, yeah, that's great. So where can we find out more about the game, Pancake Game Studios, which I love the name. I would have named it Flapjacks, you know what I'm saying, just to add levity to it, but I'm just
I'm getting hungry. So you can definitely check us out. Like probably our most like active social media is Twitter, and the handle is at slime_heroes. And that's where we're probably most active, but we're hitting that TikTok, we're on Instagram. But yeah, Twitter is probably the most active. And then obviously if you get on there, you should be able to, or on Steam, you can find our Discord. Definitely join our Discord. We're growing that out right now. And after this, probably our next steps we'll probably do some closed betas and try to get more feedback from players. So definitely join our Discord and look out for that. But yeah, check out our Steam and try the demo out and then give us feedback on our Discord. That'd be great.
Yeah, definitely check the game out, wish list it, play the demo, support. Thank you so much, Tomas.
Yeah.
Sorry. See, we gotta start this whole interview over again.
Black Voices in Gaming and y'all I feel so grateful because I feel like I wouldn't have been here if I hadn't had y'all's support. So
it's awesome to be able to connect and do what we can, man.
Yeah.
Your voice needs to be heard. So
thank you.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Tomas. Awesome stuff. I can't wait to get my hands on that game.
Yeah, same.
Like, it's so dope and beautiful. It's also inspiring, for folks who want to get into the industry, whether it's AAA or they want to become independent. That's something to strive for. So
this is invigorating, through some hard times in the industry. That should be acknowledged that there's still an opportunity for developers to create really amazing things. And Tomas and Pancake, the rest of the team is doing exactly that. So yeah, really inspired.
Thank you, Tomas, for sharing Slime Heroes. It is looking incredible, and congrats on signing with the publisher, funding, and making an impact in the space. Well, that is our show, folks. Remember to check out the Guerrilla Collective event page on Steam, where you can learn more about the BVIG titles, buy the available games, or add them to your wish lists. Wish lists help the devs a ton. I can't say it anymore. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and play the demos. Check out the games. You know what I mean? Much love. We'd like to give a shout out to our partners for today's showcase: PlayStation, Raw Fury, Razer, Wilson Sonsini, and Humble Bundle for rocking with us this year and every year. Again, Black Voices in Gaming is a nonprofit that helps the developers in the culture who are making dope games through funding, accelerator programs, networking events, and showcases. Head on over to Humble Bundle to check out the latest bundle that will directly help the BVIG organization, and hit up our Tiltify and Streamlabs charity pages as well. Thanks to our broadcasting partners Twitch, IGN, Steam, and GameSpot for their support and hosting us. Thanks to the Experience Studios team, the BVIG advisors, the Mix team, and Tracy for being allies. Thanks to Derek for rocking with me on the hosting tip. You are so great and awesome. Follow us on Twitter or X at BVI Gaming, and everywhere else at Black Voice and Gaming. Visit our merch page for some cool, sick gear. We got all kinds of stuff. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Thanks for rocking with us. We had a blast introducing you to some great games, developers, and people making moves in the industry by doing their own thing. Stay tuned for the Dames for Games showcase and the Stream for a Cause showcase next. They are going to be fun. Once again, I am your host, Justin Woodward, co-founder of Black Voices in Gaming and The Mix. See you soon. Peace.
Hey guys, welcome back to Dames for Games. This is our summer showcase and we are so excited to be here. If you hadn't noticed, I'm not alone this time. I have brought along a co-host to help me introduce all of the amazing things that we have coming up and the incredible people that we are going to interview later on in the show. But I'm going to let her introduce herself because she's amazing. She's incredible. And when we first met, I loved her energy. So tell the good people about yourself.
So hello everyone. I am Diana. I am based currently in Austin, Texas, but I'm originally from the Bronx, so excuse me. I have been in the industry for a very long while now, and I specialize in partnership management. Over the last decade, I have collaborated with some iconic IPs, and I'm just honored to be a part of this and to bring these sort of like fantastic things. When I'm not chasing people down for their JIRAs, I am also debating, movies and TV. You can catch me strategizing, and running some D&D games. I am super excited to be here, and I am so honored. And thank you so much for having me here.
No, thank you for coming on. Because listen, I know it's usually my face that you guys see, and I know you're like super excited to see my face, but we are trying to bring in as many women in the industry as possible. Mm-hmm. And Diana, let's give you your flowers because you really have done a lot in the industry. You continue to do a lot. You continue to be one of those voices that people listen to when it comes to all sorts of things. So thank you for coming on and helping me host this special showcase, because if you guys don't know, we're kind of in a block of diversity, inclusivity, all of those things. We had Black Voices in Gaming, which I know you caught, incredible developers on there, and we have Stream for a Cause, who we're partnering with, who are highlighting the LGBTQ plus community and the gamers there and the content creators and the developers. So we're kind of like just taking over, right?
Yes.
Today is the day.
So, honestly.
Yeah, today is the day.
Watch out.
Okay, like we're coming for you in a positive way. Those weren't fighting words. We also want to thank our partners who have helped. This is gonna. It's a great start already. But I wanted to thank some of our partners who have helped us in the past and continue to help us. Basically help this platform flourish, and that's Twitch, that's Steam, that's IGN. You guys are just, I don't know, you've done so much. And GameSpot. Don't let me forget GameSpot. Mm-hmm. I also wanted to give a special shout out to the people who have given us money for all of our showcases. HeroCraft, y'all are the heroes of my heart. Mm-hmm. Steady. Mm-hmm. And Indie.io, formerly known as Freedom Games. Indie.io, oh my God. You don't understand how big of a deal this is. Like, we wanted to call it Indie.io, but then I was like, no, we need to put that dot in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I slipped up and didn't do it. But Indie.io, formerly known as Freedom Games, continues to be one of our biggest supporters. So thank you guys. Now, I could go on, and I always say this, but I won't. I'm just going to let the developers speak for themselves. So the first one up is HeroCraft. They created a very special video to showcase some of the women who work in their developing team, and then it's going to be followed by a lot of other developers. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. We will be back soon, won't we, Diana?
It's going to be fantastic.
This is going to be great. I'm going to go get some taquitos and some food, and then we'll be back. I'll share.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'll be right back too.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Jillian. I'm a social media specialist working in the tech industry, as well as the social media manager for Dames for Games. My gaming journey started when I first picked up the Game Boy to play Pokemon Red, And since then, my passion for gaming has become such a big part of my life, and it's where I've been able to meet some lifelong friends. Gaming is truly for everyone, which is why I'm super excited to shout out one of our sponsors for this showcase, HeroCraft PC, who through their help we've been able to really organize these showcases to amplify all the amazing women developers and gamers in the gaming industry and community as a whole. With that being said, I'm super excited to introduce our next segment, which is all about cozy animal games. So snuggle up with your furry pals and let's dive into some of these awesome games.
Hey Games for Gays, this is HeroCraft PC and my name is
Not important. Hey Games for Games by HeroCraft PC, the publisher with the latest touch and a women's perspective on marketing, as 100% of our marketing is made by Dams. Damn, we do a full cycle of it, including PR, influence marketing, event participation, or
getting in touch with our players, keeping our communities running, and gathering feedback.
We also create a wide variety of video content, such as shorts, trailers, streams, and specials as this piece.
And don't forget about user acquisition and analytics that are critically for gamers' ability on
Steam and other digital market platforms, including consoles.
We are really proud that we can bring all our passion and professional skills to make visible all those awesome women-made games such as Union of Gnomes, Welcome Bananas, and Catizens. And we are so proud of how we do it. We have awesome art department and great outsourcing specialists who help us to fill all the matters we need. And we are eager to find new cool games by enthusiastic ladies to make themselves heard. So
let's publish a game together!
Hello, Games for Games! I'm Simone, co-founder and creative director at Do&I Games. Our newest game, Mitzi No, originated from a conversation that I had with my partner Joseph. And it all started with, wouldn't it be funny if... Mitzi No is a 2D puzzle game in which your lovely cat pushes all of your beautiful items off a table and you have to puzzle them back together. Since we are a super small team, I am basically in charge of all of the art. This includes designing all of the items, making animations, designing the UI, and even beautifying effects. With Mitzi No, we want to create a fun, cozy, and low-stakes puzzle experience. It's mainly a game for just de-stressing and winding down. Most of the puzzles can be solved by paying attention to the colors, patterns, and gradients, just like you would in a traditional jigsaw puzzle. However, for those who want a more challenging experience, we've also started creating monochrome puzzles, where you have to focus more on the shape of the puzzle pieces and how the silhouettes fit together. So if any of that sounds appealing to you, please wishlist the game on Steam and support us when it comes out. Thank you!
Hi there, my name is Ali and I'm one of the co-founders of Little Arrow Games and producer of Manita's Kitchen. As a producer, my role involves to keep everyone in synchronize, ensure everyone achieves their targets and deadlines, and of course make sure that everyone is on the same page through the development. And of course, one of the most important tasks, keep everyone alive and happy. But before we talk about our project, we need to discuss something first. Pizza. Which one is your favorite? My favorite is barbecue. It's just a classic, it works every time. Can you guess which will be our main character favorite pizza? Now let me introduce you to our latest creation, Manita's Kitchen. In this delightful cooking adventure, you'll step into the shoes of Trexito, a T-Rex with a passion for pizza. But there is a twist. Those tiny arms aren't exactly ideal for kneading pizza dough. That's where you come in. Assemble a team of dinosaurs with unique skills to form the ultimate kitchen brigade, all while navigating the challenges of running a restaurant under the eye of a rather grumpy and really tiny boss. But beware, the pressure of managing a restaurant can be overwhelming, especially for Trexito. keep a close eye on their stress levels or they might just pass out. We have poured our hearts and souls into this wild and wacky project, and we hope you'll have as much fun playing and helping Trexito as we did bringing this crazy concept to life.
Hi, my name is Altheia and I'm the lead 3D artist and community manager at Little Arrow Games, and my favorite pizza is the Bianca. It's a pleasure to be able to work with a team as diverse as ours, and to have been able to reflect that diversity in our dinosaurs. During the almost 2 years of development of Manita's Kitchen, we've encountered many problems and changes. It has been an experience in which we have learned a lot personally and professionally.
Hello, Dames for Games. My name is Michelle Franklin, and I'm the narrative designer on a game called Spaceboat. The Spaceboat. I also sing the theme song. I'm also the social media manager at Recombobulator Games, a company that focuses on games that have good old fun and that have very high accessibility. I've worked on and off in games since the Wii era, and I've done a lot of narrative PC games, DS games. But today we're going to show you our latest trailer for Spaceboat, which you can wishlist right now on Steam. The demo is available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, so enjoy.
What is this me? Oh, my eyes are burning, you stupid bastard.
Welcome to the Jelly Shore Boardwalk.
Looks like it's time to suit up.
Thank you for choosing the Yellowfin Tuna Cab Company.
But what is narrative design? Let's take a second to talk about what narrative design is. Narrative design is not just game design, it's not just game writing, it's actually both. And in order to be a narrative designer, you should have some game design experience, and of course you should have some game writing experience. It's not only about writing characters or world building or designing systems that players are going to interact with. Narrative design is how players interact with the game as a whole. So your narrative and your story has to fit together with the game design. I got into narrative design because I'm a writer, and I actually was in game design first, and I gradually made the change from game design to narrative design because that's what I enjoyed more.
To the fellow with a question mark over his head. Now why'd you go and do a thing like that?
Well, hello!
Are you a Gelatonian?
Yeah, I sure am. I'm one of the 4 sentient species found in the Gelatonian cluster of United Planets. I was born on Gelatnix 2, you see, but I moved to Gelatnix 4 when I was just a little gumdrop. I've been here ever since.
Hey! That's me! How is this possible? We're not you, we're us. Why do you follow us? Us? What do you mean, us? There are only 2 of us here, and you can't just run around looking like me.
Hey, is that my suitcase? Be more careful! Looks like someone wants a pizza to go.
Isn't this a bit overkill for rats?
Hello, Dames for Games. I'm Shondine Yazzie Woodward. I'm a co-founder and art director at Subliminal Gaming, and we're working on Button City Soccer Days. Button City Soccer Days is our follow-up to the game Button City about cute animals playing soccer. You'll play an arcade-style soccer game with fun physics and follow the original Button City crew through a tournament arc. In the story mode, you'll plan your days between games, make new rivals and friends, and explore a diorama town. I worked on the art direction in the game. Even though the art style is low poly and looks simple, I put great care into enhancing the world with little details to bring the game to life. Things like the color palette for the world was carefully thought through, and small imperfections were introduced to the 3D models so they felt more organic. I hope you enjoy Button City Soccer Days.
My name is Valentina Haas, and I'm a 3D artist on Button City Soccer Days. Working on such a small team, the work I do changes frequently from week to week and even day to day. Sometimes I'll be making concept art, sometimes I'll be modeling soccer props, fields, and accessories, And sometimes I'll even be adding effects to juice up the soccer gameplay. And sometimes I get to make fun stuff like emotes and stickers for our Discord server as well. My biggest task on the game so far has definitely been designing and modeling the stadiums. Since these environments are so big and vast compared to the little diorama levels of Button City, trying to balance the level of detail while still maintaining a sense of scale and maintaining our cute low poly art style has been an interesting challenge. I hope players who enjoyed Button City are excited to return to our little world and its characters with this new soccer twist.
And we're back. I did not share my taquitos. I'm sorry, but they were quite delicious. If you were watching
I was waiting
the
for them to
showcase-
be delivered.
I'm so
I'm not gonna lie.
sorry. I'm so sorry. They were really, really good though. They're really good.
Jealous.
But I'm really excited because next up we
I
have
can see
Karlach.
it. I can see that you're like really, really hyped
No,
right
no,
now.
no. We have
You're
Karlach, like the one and only. We have Karlach coming
Wait, no.
up.
I'm sorry. Don't you mean Sam Behart?
No, I mean Karlach. We have Karlach coming on next from Baldur's Gate 3. Like my
you mean
crush.
the actor Sam Behart. Like, okay. I mean, like,
I mean, like they're interchangeable at this point, aren't they? They're interchangeable at this point.
I mean, she's done a lot of. They've done a lot of things, right?
No. You're right. They have done a lot. They've done a ton. But the character that won my heart over was Karlach. Look, I did the same thing with the Jason Momoa movies. You know, the ones that he's in where he's like in the water. It's just like, where he's in water and he's like fighting like other fish and stuff. That Jason Momoa movie was dope. Okay. And the Karlach game is dope. So I'm really excited that we have Karlach on to talk with us today. But all jokes aside, Sam is an incredible actor. She's done so many things, and she's going to come on and talk to us about what she's done. We're actually going to take a time machine and go back in the past because you'll notice that we're wearing different clothes. So it's just because we're geniuses, and we took
true.
So we went to the back. Anyways,
it's like a full
it was a full thing. It was a whole thing. It's sitting on my couch right now. It's actually really small. Okay. Anyways, guys, we're gonna jump into this interview. I know you're gonna enjoy it. They are incredible. Okay, so we'll see you after the interview. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm super excited because this is going to be our interview with the wonderful, the talented, the amazing Sam Behart. Thank you so much, Sam, for coming on and spending some time with us. Like, this is a dream come true, guys. Listen, I'm just going to tell you a little bit of the story, and I promise I'm not going to take up a ton of your time. So what had happened was we were at the DICE Awards, and she came up and she was talking. I think you were with someone. I can't remember who exactly you were with, but you were talking and they were like, yeah, like, this is the voice actor behind Karlach. And I lost my shit. Completely lost it. And and a friendship happened.
I will second that. I did witness this. I was a second witness. And I immediately was like, oh, jeez.
I can only apologize. Sorry.
Karlach is one of my favorite characters. Listen, as soon as I saw her in, this is just a random story, and I know I said I wasn't going to talk very much. I immediately thought, I was like, this voice actor is Black, because I feel like this is sister. Like, I feel this deep in my soul. And then when I saw you, I was still like, nah, I still feel it. She's still like.
Well, my mum's Jamaican, so
I knew it counts. It totally counts. Super side story, but I'm just saying I felt like this connection to you, and I was like, it was just, and it came through your character, and I know a ton of people are super excited to hear about your journey and your story. So I'm going to pass the microphone over to you and let you just tell us about it. Tell us about the whole thing.
So we haven't got forever, right? So I've got to get through this quite quickly. It's a long story, but I always like stories. I did a literature degree. During the literature degree, I did a Shakespeare module. I finally understood what that was about, and I wanted to get into that side of storytelling after that. I wanted to be an actor after that, and I'd gone to Saturday classes in dance, singing, and acting, but didn't really understand acting, because I think when you're 8, 9, 10,
right,
it's just a load of kids yelling at each other. I don't understand. But then I saw the Shakespeare and I fell in love with the text, and that was sort of it. And I'd been doing some amateur bits and bobs, but I knew that I needed something. I'm just not from that background. I didn't know the way in, so it took a little time. And I did something called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for Radio 4 when they adapted the third, fourth, and fifth books after Douglas Adams had passed. And I was very lucky. I got in right at the end, kind of like Indiana Jones's hat being pulled out from. I felt like the hat because I played the main character's daughter in the last book. So
that's incredible.
Cool. And then since then, we did a live tour together as well, about, say, 12 years ago now. And so that was the story to dine out on, but I still didn't think I was a particularly good actor, and I wanted to be a good all-rounder. And in the UK, most of us train in the sort of Shakespearean theatre training, and the idea is that should allow you to do anything. So the two things I didn't train in were audio and games, and that's what I've done. Pretty almost exclusively. I've done some theatre as well, but so I there's a reason I'm about to brag. It will become apparent very quickly. I got into every drama school I auditioned for. They wanted me everywhere, but when I got out the other end, commercially, not a sausage. No one was interested. What I was told repeatedly in different ways was that I didn't look British. I didn't look like I was from London, which I don't know what to do with, because it's like, have you been to the major world
Isn't
cities?
it basically like a melting pot though? There are all kinds of cultures there.
In that aspect.
Yeah.
So, but that tells you who's making those decisions, doesn't it? And men, you'll love this, when they're feeling.
Well, I think the key, what you said was commercial. Like you said, the commercial part. That was.
Yeah. And funny enough, I see myself in commercials when they're trying to hit lots of regions at the same time.
Right.
And sci-fi. Sci-fi I exist in. But when they were trying to be really helpful, they would suggest I pass for something I wasn't. So it was like Spanish, maybe East Asian. I mean, two people couldn't decide, and I thought the ambiguity would be helpful. Maybe I grew up on a lot of American stuff where I thought, yeah, this is great, I can do. Nuh-uh, not in the UK. So I had a really tough problem getting started, but I had that amazing audio credit, and I kind of got back in. I've always been into sci-fi and fantasy anyway, and funnily enough, in sci-fi and fantasy audio, they don't care what you look like. It doesn't matter. And even like gender-wise, because I'm non-binary, if you're playing a woman who is kind of action-based, you're gender non-conforming anyway. So it's been a very safe place for me. I feel that I've been employed on merit, believe it or not. And I've been playing games for a long time. I just didn't really know how they were made. We'll get to this in a bit, I imagine. That's kind of why that crusade is happening. The games appeared. I was playing them. I didn't really know. I didn't really get the idea that I could maybe hop across. And audio and games are so related, but the industries aren't. And gaming, unlike the others, doesn't have gatekeepers. So on the one hand, there's no one keeping you out, but there's also no one remembering you for the next job. So, you're knocking on doors, talking to devs all the time. But yeah, I did just try and take you up to today. I did an indie game called The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, and that was noticed. That was it. That was a good lead role for me, and people saw it. And someone from Larian, when Twitter was working and it hadn't been taken over yet, I could see things in order that they'd been written in, and there weren't porn bots everywhere. It was very clear. And I just started noticing a couple of people were just, very, very kindly kept tweeting about it. And one of them was from Larian. So I slid into those DMs and said,
hey, that's what you gotta do.
That's how you do it.
If there's a significantly large role, because you got to be careful what you wish for. If I'd just gone if there's a role, I would have got a tiny role. Yeah. So I said, if there's a, good significant role, because obviously it's done, you're years into this, obviously you're done, please let me audition. And that was it really. And there's a whole, if you want to get into the casting, we can do that, but it took 2 years and 3 people to get me that role, let's put it that way. I've been dancing around on the outside of it for a while, and Hobbs Barrow is kind of what got me in. And then you know the rest is history. But I've been waiting all this time to do it, and why it relates to theatre and everything, of course, is because you're in a mocap suit. It's a full body performance. Not this so much, but they were there was cameras, so they were looking at the facial performance, if not tracking it, if that makes sense. And I was working with movement directors who use theatre language, so I was very much at home there. Actually, so I think that's the journey.
No, that's
in less than
cool.
half an hour.
No. Like, listen, you summed that up beautifully, and I think that's incredible because
I've had a lot of practices.
I've told this story many times, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
I think what is incredible for me is I didn't realize that you guys had to do mocap for that, because when you think like traditionally about like voice acting and you see like people talking in a booth, like you have animators on the other side making sketches and things like that, but it's not the same. So like getting to hear about that, because we had Sissy Jones on and she talks a little bit about her journey and things like that, but like this is another aspect of it. Also, I would not even expect it to be that hard for you to get roles. Like I know we kind of breezed over it, but like come on UK, come on London, come on Hollywood, like it's exhausting. And this is kind of why we're doing this showcase, to just be like, representation matters, diversity matters, and we don't all look the same. And a lot of us would like to see people who look like us in these roles. So,
but there are a lot of people who do look like us. We just never see them.
Yeah,
we look around ourselves and we're like, what? I'm seeing you in real life, but apparently you don't exist in my stories. And that raises so many questions about
it does.
Why. Who is making that decision about who gets to tell the stories? Why are they telling the same story over and over again? It's I feel in video games and prestige TV that's changing quite a lot, especially stateside. UK loves making its period dramas, and apparently I don't exist in a period drama. There's never been a mixed race person till now.
Of course not. No.
That part. But that's a whole nother topic, and I promise we will definitely talk about that.
Believe it or not, again, the industry side, something else, but creatively, it's quite special. I'm proud to be a part of it.
And I love it because you know what? Just a little side note there. I've never seen anybody who looks like Carlec, but I wish I had. And you've definitely brought a lot of life to that role. And like what I said earlier is like, I felt like, oh my God, I could totally connect with this person. Like we understand things culturally. And I think it was just the way that like you were allowed to express yourself.
They just let me do what I wanted. So it was more about just make sure you get the story across. They didn't police me in any way. In any way, they were happy with what I did in that audition, and they won't go with it. And that was just an instinctive response. So it was a very particularly liberating for that, with the hundreds of hours of material that was shot. Have you seen Athena? By the way, she's a black wrestler, and she's retained her title.
Yes,
and she was like, now that's for me the world's top cosplayer, because you have the physical and like she can fight. She can toss someone across a battlefield. I was so happy, and then she turns out, of course, she's a fan, which totally makes sense if you're a female wrestler.
Right, and I saw it on your Twitter actually, and I was just like, whoa. Like she looks the part. Like
I was so happy. I did, because you think this is the end of the ride. We're gonna get off now, and we had the symphony last weekend.
No.
It's gonna go on. It's gonna go on.
Yeah.
It's gonna go on, and I think the beauty of the role too is just the sincerity of how you played her, and how that in and of itself is, I think, one of the reasons why people resonated with it so much. It's just like it was just wholeheartedly sincere, and you're just like, oh, I want to be your friend. I just want to be your friend so much.
And you can be. Just don't do genocides, and you'll be fine.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, she's fab, and she's got there's a lot of subtext with her, which I think comes out in a particular scene. Like she's actually there's a lot of fear, and she's hiding. Maybe she doesn't want to be a liability to the team. That was always in my head, because that helped me, sit on top. Everything's fine. Let's go smash stuff. Let's not talk about that thing, and all that denial. And I feel that paid off when we got to that scene. But she's trying, because I think this is a second chance for her. The person she was before the Hells was not a great person. She was not a nice person. And that's how she got duped. But she was working for a gangster, and she knew it. She knew that. And now this is the second chance, and this is the redemption arc. she's going to go down on her terms. And I think that's what a great role to be given like that. It's a heroic role, you know, like the writing's astounding. The directors were, you know, again, it's still from film and TV and theatre, and they were coming in with that discipline. And we were so well supported, you know, they were our eyes and ears, because obviously they couldn't always show us the worlds we were in, and it helped that I played a bit in D&D before, so I had some reference. Otherwise I think it would have taken twice as long, because they sit there and describe it to you, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and I think the beauty too is that you've played the DMV, so you've had the theater of the mind, you've done that already. And I think you having not necessarily your start, but really the start in audio really also helps a lot, because it's very I don't think people realize that, like, audio, when you're doing like audio dramas, when it's just audio in general, there's a lot of work that goes behind it. People just think, oh, I'm just gonna be talking, and that's
funny voices.
Funny voices.
And it's actually the opposite, because it's so revealing, isn't it? Because all you've got is the voice. That's why we have to be careful doing accents that you have no experience with, because first of all, people can really hear the holes in the accent more than if they were distracted by the visuals. But also, if you're concentrating on the accent more than the acting, it's going to come across as a bit weird. It feels like the unloved cousin of film and theatre and TV.
It's true.
It really is. You know, in the UK, it's seen as the equivalent of a pub job for a famous actor. That, you know, they'll do a bit of audio for a bit between big jobs.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's not respected in any way. And again, the most liberating, I think, of them all. You know, it's. I was talking to Emma Gregory on this show. That's my show, about all of this, and she has she has Shakespearean pedigree to a degree. I don't think anyone else on it does. Maybe Andrew Wincott a bit, but it's going to be Emma. And you know, just had so much respect for audio. She's done a lot herself, and how much more it demands, because I guess so much of the work's invisible.
Right. No,
I think it's the theater of the mind, because it's the person that needs to fill in. It's the, you know, I've been listening to a lot of like audio, not just audio podcasts, but audio dramas.
Yeah.
These last couple of years that have just, like, they've become a lot more popular, and I'm happy for that. And so there's a very significant difference between like, you know, where you know that people have been professionally like trained in the audio, in audio acting and voice acting, to like folks who are like, let's just put together a show.
Oh, yeah.
And so anyway, it's just a testament of you, and it's a testament of, like, you know, what your origins and where it came from, where you came from.
Tracy Wiles and I met a few times over the years with an incredible director called Dirk Maggs, who's seen as a Steven Spielberg of audio, basically. And he adapts big sci-fi and fantasy things, and the big one for us was The Sandman, which we did for Audible. And you know, that was one of those things where you just had to, like, if you're in the room, you're on, you know. But it's so visual, isn't it? I mean, perfect for a comic book adaptation that they said couldn't be adapted, because your mind fills in all the blanks. Of course, you've got the sound effects and everything, but your mind does a lot of the work too. I think it's an incredible format.
I think, like, after we were talking to Sissy, she also brought up the fact that, like, it's not just you going in. Like, you can't just go in. You need some training and some background. And you have a lot of people who think they can just jump into voice acting and talk, and it's
become
so
rich.
much more than that. Yeah. And it's so much more than that. Like, it is a skill. And I think people need to realize that. And you went to school for a long time, right? To, like, hone this skill. And you definitely can
to be an all-rounder, not to be. I mean, I have so much respect for bona fide voice actors. I watched the interview with Cissy Jones, and she said she trained for 2 years. Now I haven't got that training, but I don't get asked to do 20 voices in a session. I'm certainly not a cartoon voice actor. I don't do commercials. I don't, you know, there's things I don't do. But if you want me to act out of something, you hire me. You know, that's what you get. That's what you get.
And there's different levels to that, and that's totally okay, because you rocked it. Like, you
and I have so much respect for the voice actor, because they're athletes with this. You know, I think they're incredible. But I'm not trained in that, and that's why I make the distinction, because I use a different set of skills and training for what I do.
I love that. Okay, so I wanted to ask a couple of questions, and then I want you to talk a little bit about It Takes a Village, because you have your own podcast, which is really incredible. The one question I wanted to ask, and I'm sure, like, a lot of people want to know, what was the first video game that you ever played that, like, really got you into gaming?
Well, as a performer or as a gamer?
No, just as a gamer. As a dames for games.
Because I've been borrowing older brothers' controllers for a long time.
Yeah.
I want to say Mortal Kombat 2. That was fun.
Okay.
Like, because Winner stayed on, so I practiced, and that was quite good. And then made boys cry, which is one of my favorite hobbies. To this day, it's very easy to make boys cry on the internet. There's nothing that some of them do but cry on the internet. But I'd say Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Just because there was this narrative, and I was, absorbed in a way that would make me a psychopath if I gave the same answer for Mortal Kombat 2. So I will say that it just had everything. I loved it so much. It really stayed with me.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's a good game. I'm sure a lot of our audience will agree. So
it's a good comfort game.
It is a good comfort game. Yeah. It is. So tell us a little bit about It Takes a Village, because you've been doing some incredible things, and I've been dying to ask about all of that.
So It Takes a Village is an interactive chat show on Twitch, and the reason we're visible is because I'm trying to make people who don't get their flowers visible, and that's pretty much everyone in the games industry. So I can take my pick. I've been going to socials for years. As I said, there's very few gatekeepers. In fact, there aren't really any. What it is a composer or a community manager might be the person that gets you the audition. In Larian's case, it's the head of publishing. It wasn't a casting director, it wasn't an agent. And we're doing the same. I can maybe get a composer a job if someone's having difficulties, also sound design, all of that. It's pure old school networking, and the nepotism hasn't come into this industry yet. It may do, but at the moment it's really nice. It's a really nice place to be. Peer to peer. I know, like, once money gets involved. But among ourselves, we've had some really good friendships, and I've been doing this a few years now. I don't really want to put a number on it because it's been quite some time. There was no day when I made the plunge. I was just going to things, and I felt really safe. So now that I had an audience, because I was streaming Karlak Plays Karlak, and I had this audience, I went, do you want to be known for that forever or not? And also CRPGs, not my forte. I didn't think I was so interesting to watch. We did a few of those. We had an audience. We got monetization. I turned that off, and I have a QR code on screen, and we have a charity every month. We try and theme it with some sort of world awareness event or something. But yeah, it's been really good. $14,000. We're almost at $15,000 for charities. But I try at least twice a month to try and get someone who's been underrated. Sometimes it's their very first interview, which is astounding when someone's got a 20-year career.
Yeah.
So we talk about them. It's biographical, and then we have audience questions. They're very heavily curated, so everyone feels safe, and it's just lovely. I'm having the best time, and I'm just going, spotlight for you. You get your spotlight, and you get your spotlight, and that kind of Oprah way, But it's such a nice, warm, cozy thing, and it goes and lives on YouTube.
Oh my God! No, that's incredible. I feel like we're trying to do this similar work, like all of us, and just trying to make sure that, like, women are seen, people of color are seen, minorities are seen, people in the LGBTQ+ community are seen, because there's just so much going on, and just not enough people being recognized for the amazing things.
There are a lot of unsung heroes in this industry that people think that you have to be
the author
out there and visit, exactly, the author, and then just like visible and right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people working behind the scenes. There's a lot of people buying coffee, and you're just as important as anybody else, because it takes like a whole village, right?
It does. It does.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of our interview. Sam, again, thank you so much. If people want to find you.
Yes.
And I know you're not hard to find.
It's not hard to find. So it'll all be under my name, right? Samantha Beart. So I'm on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. And through Twitter, you'll find a link tree. It's got my whole life story on it now, so you'll enjoy that. The void of choice to scream into is Twitter. I'm not on Instagram or the others, and I will hang on to Twitter till Elon takes it out of my cold dead hands.
I think we all feel that way. That is it, and it will be Twitter forever. There's no other name.
I'll be the last
Twitter.
I'm so sorry.
I would look at you sideways if you called it
anything.
X.
Yeah,
I feel like anything
no
else.
one's calling it that.
Who's calling it X? Nobody's calling it X.
Only Elon.
Thank you so much,
in his tower.
Thank you so much. You guys have been so incredible. Guys, stick around, because we have so much more coming up, and you're not gonna want to miss this. Bye. Okay, so we're back.
Wow.
That was incredible. That
was
Guys, I just want you to know that on a daily basis,
I could stand up.
I'm trying to slip into their DMs like all the time. I'm just like, hey Sam.
No, you are not.
Hi Sam. What are you doing, Sam?
Shameless. And what I mean, classically trained Shakespearean actor. Hello. Come on.
Not even that. I didn't know that Sam was half Jamaican.
That's fantastic.
That was incredible. That's like, you heard it here, guys. Like, those are some things you never even like noticed about people. But her culture and things, like, it's a part of what comes out of her when she's acting, you know? And listen, that is why I'm slipping into her DMs on a daily. Just, you know, just saying hi, you know?
Yes.
And how are you doing? What'd you have for breakfast today?
I'm in constant awe of them, like constant awe. And yeah, that was so much fun. All I could do was just like sit there and just like listen. I could probably have gone for like another hour.
The only crime is that our interviews are so short, you know, because there's so many things that you can learn from these individuals who are in the industry and doing incredible things. So let's just give a shout out to Sam again. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on and talk with us. It was incredible. Going back into time just to do that, I'd do it all over again. I would.
Definitely. Slip into their DMs and tell them let's hang out.
I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it right now.
Hey.
And while I'm doing that, you guys stay tuned because we have so much more happening. Oh my gosh, they just messaged me back. Guys, I'm create a group message in WhatsApp. Yo, we're
Can
gonna
you
do
that,
this.
please?
I'm gonna do that right now. All right, guys, stay tuned. We have so much more coming up, and we will see you back here in a bit.
Hi y'all, my name is Kate Sanchez. I have been in the industry for about 6 years as the editor-in-chief and site runner of ButWhyThough.net. I got into gaming because of a person named Lara Croft. My mom bought me a PlayStation and Tomb Raider 1 and Tomb Raider 2 when I was really young, and she became my gateway into the world of gaming and dynamic platforming, and I've been in love with it ever since. And I continue to work within the industry because I believe that gaming is one of the best ways to build community and connect with others, and also grow ourselves by playing new stories from new voices and diverse voices, as well as embracing and breaking all the boundaries that we think that gaming and its gameplay styles can be. If you want to know more about me, you can find me over on Twitter, Instagram, pretty much everything at OhMyMythRandier, and you can follow my work at ButWhyThough.net and all of our socials at ButWhyThoughPC. That being said, I want to say thank you for your continued support, and stay tuned for what we have next, which is a group of video games with eccentric gameplay that do just what I said like 20 seconds ago, that push the bounds of what we think games can be.
Hey everyone, I'm Whitney, and this is my daughter Nova.
Hi.
And together with the rest of our family, we are working on a monster taming RPG called Alchemic Beasts. I'm the lead developer, programmer, and audio designer.
And I help with organization, project management, and I do pixel art.
Tyrell and Adonis also do pixel art and monster designs. Nathan, Joseph, and Victor, they do monster voices. And Lucas, along with the rest of us, we all do story and writing.
Alchemic Beasts is a monster taming RPG adventure set in our ever-expanding universe, the Celestial Tier. You play as Zeke, a guy who thinks he can tame the most unruly beasts there are and control them, but his pride takes a hit when he dies trying to tame a particularly dangerous one. Once discovered on a shore near Mizu Village, the main hub of the game, mad scientist Mione brings him back to life in her lab. He spies all kinds of native creatures unnaturally mutated into weird, crazy versions of themselves. Excitement overcomes him as he thinks of ways to use them in combat, and she offers him one in exchange for bringing back data on its behavior out in the world. Zeke and the beast quickly grow a bond, and with tunnel vision, he aims to use the help of its new friend to capture the very creature that killed him.
We'd like to thank Dames for Games for giving us the opportunity to showcase our game Alchemic Beasts. If you'd like to follow the development, join us on Patreon. And don't forget to Alchemic Beasts on Steam.
I am excited to be working with my family on my first game, Alchemic Beasts, and I'm hoping it's something the world will enjoy.
Your tavern, the Wayfarer's Inn, is a place where you meet a cast of colourful adventurers. Mix magical drinks to help your patrons succeed on their quests. Listen to stories, gather rumours, and forge them into new quests. Explore the stories of more than 18 different characters that are visiting your tavern. Experience a game about found family, and with a lot of nerdy humour. Dive into a new fantasy world with a deep lore and a big mystery to uncover. Don't forget to pet your dragon familiar. They're doing such an amazing job slapping up all your mistakes. Tavern Talk, coming this June.
Pixalia, where you can live your life the way you see fit. Shape your Pixalian's life with many interesting activities, such as reading a book, cooking, or painting. There are many job opportunities for you to explore, from waiting tables to playing on a basketball team or getting your hands dirty in the kitchen. If none of this is for you, strut your way to stardom under the spotlights, or strum your sweet guitar songs on the street. You have complete control over how your Pixalian will look and how you want to decorate your space. With a variety of flooring, wallpaper, and furniture. The choice is yours.
Hi, I'm Fayan, also known as Mellowmix. I'm an artist and solo game developer from the Philippines. I've been a professional artist for about 15 years now, mostly working on fabric and wallpaper prints, as well as my own small, slow fashion brand. As an artist, I love creating my own little worlds. And game development is kind of the perfect medium for this, where I can use coding to make my art come to life. So last year, I started learning game development, and so far I've made a few tiny cozy games involving playing with kittens, gardening, and decorating. Right now I'm working on Air Garden. It's a cozy game where you grow plants and pop bubbles to clear away toxic air, slowly revealing the beautiful garden you've made. In Air Garden, some plants produce clean air, which you use to grow more plants. And some plants absorb toxic air. And some plants do both. Some plants have special effects, like boosting other plants. Plants also affect each other in different ways. They get a bonus from having just the right number of plants nearby, but they become unhappy if they get overcrowded. Plants also interact with the environment. Different types of soil affect plants in different ways, like making them grow faster or making them produce bubbles that you can pop to get more clean air. The early demo of Air Garden is up on itch.io, with over 7,000 browser plays so far. I made this game at a time when I needed something to cheer myself up, so I'm really happy to hear from players that it's been such a positive experience for them as well. Players have said things like it's very soothing, satisfying, and that it lowers blood pressure. Not a medical claim, but definitely highly encouraging feedback for me as I continue working on this game. You can find links to my games and socials at mellowminx.com. Thank you for watching, and thanks so much to Dames for Games for including me in this showcase.
Oh, we're back. We're back. Sorry. Oh. So that time I was in the DMs with somebody completely different, so don't worry. I was in the DMs with our next guest who's coming up, Verda Maloney, who is incredible, has done so many things and continues to do so many things in the industry. Listen, she's my spirit animal. She doesn't realize that, but she is my spirit animal. I want to be just
I have admired Verda from afar for such a long time, so it is a great honor to have been able to to speak to her. I'm really excited about that.
So you guys, you don't even know, like, she's gonna drop some knowledge on y'all today, some knowledge bombs, and
Open up those ear holes.
Just listen, and be receptive of the messages, because it's so important, and she's gonna tell you why it's important. So stay tuned and check out this next interview with the amazing Verda.
feel really grateful that women, and very specifically Black women, can feel seen, heard, and healed in my social spaces. And it just connects us.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are here with our second interview, the beautiful, the illustrious Verda. She's done so much in the game industry and just for women in general, and we are going to jump right into it as she talks about how she is going to be continuing and moving her journey forward. She has some news for us, and I'm pretty excited to jump into that. And she told us a little bit about it before, but we wanted to save it so you guys could hear about it. So Verda, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do and your plans for the future.
My name is Verda Maloney, pronouns she, her, and my motto in life, for those that have known me, is that I'm all love with appropriate doses of rage.
I love that.
And it is, and I live at the intersection of love and rage. And so that is how I found myself co-founding the Gamers 4 years ago. And I think some of the things that people don't know is like being, I think, more prevalent, if you will, in the video game space. I've had a whole life and career around really just like liberatory practices, doing anti-racism work, anti-oppression work, doing education, like all of these things. And so where I find myself today is kind of this beautiful mashup of all of those things. And the other thing that I always share with people is, I don't know, I grew up not thinking you could be kind of what they call now a multi-hyphenate and just do a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And I'm the center of that, right? And so I've just been really fortunate to find people that have let me like kind of be myself as I figure out this path on the journey, which has led me here to this wonderful conversation today.
No, that's pretty incredible. And I never really thought about that, right? Because I think like growing up, we're kind of in the same kind of generation. Like you get that one job and that's your career for your life and then you retire from it. But things have changed so much. And I feel like we as women and women of color have to continue to fight for our place in spaces to be seen, heard, and respected, which is why we have the Game Hers, which is why we have Dames for Games and all these other platforms. One of my questions is that as you're moving forward and you've started Game Hers, it's been incredible. You have, do you guys still have the app? I think you created an app and I got to be on the, I got to test that out and be on the beta. I'm really shy, so I didn't talk as much as I should have. But that was really incredible. Tell me some of the things that you have planned for the future, because I know if the Verda I know has anything going on, you've got some big things going on.
I think that's awesome. I think that the funny thing about that is like I never think they're super big, so I just kind of I try to just honestly just live in my truth and also find spaces that are going to honor that. And so I think when you're doing that, and I try to be like ever present, I think it's one thing to think about the past, to think about the future, but to be ever present. And so for me, the company I started called 45 Lemons about 7 years ago, officially, with my best friend in this universe and all others. We met, first day freshman year of college, and we've been together since.
Wow,
then.
I love that.
Black woman, who's like, she's from Ghana, and we just really clicked and connected a lot over this experience of I'm first gen, so my family's not from the US, and so she was born in Ghana and came here at a young age, and we kind of really bonded over that. And I think that story is important because as women, as Black women, finding spaces where we can feel a certain level of like camaraderie with others, where we can have conversations that we don't have to have, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. You're in a space and you can like see something go down, you just give each other that look, and you're like, okay.
It's the look. Right? That's all it takes.
Totally get it, and we get with each other what we mean. And so for me, I am wanting to create more of those spaces where we can be together as Black people, as Black women, as Black, Indigenous, and folks of color, having these conversations about like kind of getting it. And particularly right now within, I think, gaming, tech, and all of the other worlds. And so my goal is to, one, help create and craft and share our stories in ways that are going to propel us forward. And that's where I'm kind of future thinking. I think that too often we get left in either the present moment or the past as women and as Black folks, even though we are literally the future. Like, I almost think like everyone is trying to be us or be like us or do what we do just by showing up. But while we're in that moment, it kind of doesn't feel like that until we're like, 7 steps ahead. And it's like, oh, now my body is like the body that you want or that you want. But when I was living in it, y'all were like not trying to check for me. So I think it's one, like sharing and talking about those stories. I think it's also as women in spaces that are typically male dominated, it's for me about not trying to become the beast that we intend to slay. Not trying to, because that's how we see it going. And so when you start a company, you start a new studio, you start a new this, there are some moments where I see us as women perpetuating the same oppressive states and ways of being that we were trying to escape. And so I want to create spaces and conversations where different industries, but we can come together and talk about how do we just not do that? Like, we just really have to stop. And I think it's going beyond just the basic conversation of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm moving into what does it mean to create liberatory spaces where we can be liberated and free, lean into the joy that exists around being a Black woman, and at the same time acknowledging
existing.
You
right?
know?
And not feeling like a check mark or anything like that in on a list.
And that we're not doing that. And so how do we like lean into that? And so I am going to be starting, and I have a name, but it's not like official yet, so I'm not going to share it yet, but like a subsidiary of my company, 45 Lemons, that's really like literally pro-Black, pro-woman, pro-tech, pro-gaming, like all of these things where we can come together. And what I'd love to see is how we have conversations across industries. I have worked in so many, right? So I was a school principal, I was in education, I was a teacher, I've coached leaders and other people that were doing startups. I've done my own startups, I've worked in nonprofit, I've worked in for-profit. And at the core of all of that was I was really mad about some of the stuff that was happening. And when I say that rage and I say it's appropriate, we should be angry. We should be angry that we don't see ourselves represented and that other people should be angry about it too. We should not have to carry the torch of the anger about it, right? But what does it mean for all of us to see that and say it's not okay? And then the other side is love. Like I'm probably too nice. I just sometimes I'm like working on that, right? But I try not to take it as weakness. And that has been one of the things that I have like genuinely loved about being within the video game space. It's conversations like this. It's the fact that the gamers can exist, so can Dames for Games, so can anything that all of us decide to do in the future. It is abundant. There are abundant opportunities for all of us to kind of exist.
And it all feeds into it too. It all feeds into it. And we have to give ourselves that, I don't want to say the permission, because I feel like that's like, somebody's giving me it, and that's not what I'm saying. But it's like we have to give ourselves that agency to say that like it's all connected. It's okay. It's okay. Like it all works together. It all belongs together.
It all belongs together. And so I think that's what's exciting about it. And so yes, I'm gonna start my own thing in this space that's really rooted in all the love and all the rage and what do we do about it, but bringing people together around that with all of the experience that I've had. And so I'm really genuinely excited about that. And I think it's really important to honor our journeys because
absolutely,
they've been
the journey has been journeying. Okay. It's been, but I think one of the incredible things about this is that you have been so successful, whether you see it or not and don't think it's a big thing, you have been so successful, and having women like you on the platform to talk about your successes is really important. And I love what you're trying to do, like where you create this space where we're allowed to talk about like our success and in our liberation. The reason why these things are so important is because it is the exception. And you hear people say, why do they have a Dames for Games? Or why do they have Black voices in gaming? Because it's the exception and it should be the norm. And we create these spaces so that you guys can realize like it should be the norm. Why do we have Stream for a Cause? Like, why are we focusing on these things? Because there's still politically a big issue. And just within our industry, just within corporate America, we are still hiding people, and that shouldn't be hidden. We're still not giving people their flowers that should be getting their flowers, because it takes all of us to make these things work. You
Yeah.
have some very prominent people who are doing amazing things, and you've never even heard of them before because we don't talk about them.
We don't talk about
And then
them.
also they also need to justify. I think a lot of the time for us, we constantly need to justify why we're here. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like the rest of our peers who are on the same level don't have to.
Yeah.
And we have to work, double, triple, quadruple hard in order to be like, no, I have my degrees, I have my years experience, and so until we get to a point where that is not necessary, these spaces are necessary.
Exactly. And when we get to the place where they're not necessary, they're icing, right? It's beautiful to still have it. And I think that there was this thing I heard, and I can't remember where it was, but if you think of college courses and how there's the college curriculum and liberal arts, but all of the electives have to do with okay, you have to take an elective in order for it to be about Black women, right? Or in order for it to be a women's, now they have yes, women's studies, things like that. But because there was a fight for that to even be studied, until we don't have to fight for those types of things to be just included as part of the general everything, that is why the spaces are necessary. And I think the other thing that's really important for people to understand is that we are not doing this so that people that are not Black won't have. We are not doing this so that men won't have. We are doing this because what people have to fully understand is that if you can and do liberate those that systems typically marginalize, everyone will be free. It's not about, right? Everyone will have an opportunity. If within gaming, we don't have to always talk about how women are not represented in the ways that we want to, in the ways that are more, various and diverse than what they are right now. When we get to a place where that's not the case, everyone is going to benefit. And I think of that often, right? Because you get to see this, you get to see how just how beautifully diverse all of this is, and how knowing that and being a part of that really helps everyone. So I just feel those are some of the things that I want to lean into. And I think it's going to take honest conversations like these. It's going to take creating spaces like this, because so often, I think Diana, you were saying this, that you won't know the story unless someone tells you sometimes.
Yeah.
And you just got to believe it when you hear it. That's the other thing. Don't act like you're not telling the truth, okay?
For real.
No, that's incredible. And people just, you guys, you got to listen. You have to listen. Diversity is so beautiful.
It is.
Do you know what I'm saying? Look at all the shades that we have on the screen right now. Diversity is so beautiful. Look at all of the incredible women you're going to see in the showcase, doing their developer spotlights. They're talented, they're amazing, they're intelligent, they're smart, and they are part of the industry. And it's not just in the gaming industry, guys. It's all over. We're just a very small part, but we're trying to make big changes all over, because like Diana said, it's all interconnected.
Yeah.
All of it.
You know what? And all of those women who are here, everyone who we're going to be seeing, that diversity deserves to be here. It deserves to be here, and it doesn't need to justify it. It deserves to be here.
And there's no justification. We get to be. And I think something that's really beautiful to experience at this moment, right, in 2024, is we are living at a time where young people are growing up with games in their hands. They're growing up with gamification just being something that's a part of their life. Yep. They're growing up at a time, and now we have so many Black, Indigenous, folks of color. We have queer folks. We have so many people that would not have had a seat or a table anywhere having them that we can learn from. That's what's blowing my mind, right? Because when I think of when I was younger and anything that you saw that was video games, right? But now it just wasn't us. And that was a deliberate decision. And now we have a deliberate movement and a deliberate opportunity to see people in education, getting degrees, PhDs in education, content creators. I'm blown away by this moment. And I'm just really excited to seize it, while at the same time changing all the, I'm not going to curse, all of the, you know what I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all know. Y'all fill in the blank. Y'all fill in the blank.
I'm hearing We hear it over here.
Oh my God, Verda, I love you, and I love that you came on to like talk with us and like share your story and kind of like your vision for what you want to see for the future. Because I think we can all agree here, we just want to be included because we deserve to be seen, heard, and respected, right?
Yes.
Like
And
without us, you can't have some of these things. And come on.
Exactly.
And we shouldn't have to fight all the time. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, and I want to say thank you, because creating these types of platforms are essential. And I think I'm just grateful to be part of it.
Aww. Stop it. Listen, when I started out, quick, and then we're going to end. When I started out, like, I saw what Game Hers was, and I was, like, super excited. And then I saw Verda, and I was like, oh, my God. And this is when I was, like, doing a small little podcast about mental health and social justice. I was like, please come on to our show. I was doing everything to get her on the show and just talk to her, because it's so nice to see someone who looks like you in a position of success. And it doesn't matter what race you are, what ethnicity you are, seeing people who look like you succeed is always a boon. You're proud, you're excited, you know what I mean? It's someone that you look up to. So I just want you to know I'm continuously looking up to you and what you do and what you create. And if anybody wants to follow up on you and learn more about what you're going to be doing in the future, what are your socials? Where can they find out more about Verda?
I mean, at Verda or at Verda Maloney and all the places. There are not that many of us in the world, so I'm going to be pretty easy to find. And 45lemons.com. And you can go there for like more updates on everything. So I look forward to continuing the conversation.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. Make sure you follow Verda. Make sure you follow what she's doing. And just really quick, even if you're not a woman of color, like, this isn't excluding you. We need all of us to make these things happen. That is why we create these spaces. And we also need men allies. So if you want to be supporter, please be supporter. Yeah, we're all working together. But we just want to take a moment to shine some light on some people who are doing some incredible things in the space, because they deserve it. So thank you so much for interviewing us. And guys, well, not interviewing us, letting us interview you.
It was a collaborative effort.
Yeah, it was a collaborative.
It was.
Teamwork, okay? Thanks so much. And guys, stay tuned, because we have a whole bunch of trailers coming up next, and we have some more spotlights. We'll talk to you soon. See you in a bit. So, Diana, what did you think about that interview?
I am in awe. Honestly, my first word that like popped up into my brain, I was gonna say I'm gagged, but like, I don't know if that's appropriate. I'm like, I'm gagged. That's all I'm doing. Like, excuse me, because I just, there is so much knowledge. There's so much knowledge dropping there. It's like, I said it in an interview. It's like we all rise together. We all need to rise together. We all need like these safe spaces in order to communicate with each other and to learn from each other and to grow, because we never stop growing. And just hearing her talk, it's just another interview that could have gone for an hour, and I just would have been like, yes, the whole time. Yes.
She's iconic, isn't she? I don't think she realizes it, but she is iconic. And the fact that she's done so much and she continues to do so much. She was a principal. She started an art school. Like, she has done incredible things. And honestly, when you have someone who can come on and talk about their accomplishments while also saying, I still have room to grow. There's still so many more things I want to do. That is so awe-inspiring. And she's a busy woman.
Wonderful. My goodness. And I just think it's wonderful, and it's just like another lesson that shows us that not all of us have the same path. You don't need to be in this industry. That's like programming. Programming is not the way into this industry. There's a lot of different ways into it. And there's a lot of things that we bring to it that makes this industry so interesting and so wonderful and so great. And I'm inspired. I'm ready. I'm ready to go march.
For the people in the back. She said, I'm ready to march. I'm ready to march.
Yes, I'm being dramatic. I told you, I'm gagged. Like right now, I'm just like.
I know. I love that. I'm feeding off of your energy. But
I'm ready.
But I really hope you enjoyed that interview. Please make sure to keep up with Verda and follow her on all of her socials. She is an incredible person doing incredible things for all of us. And her overall message is that we, like Diana said, is that like if we work together, we can all rise together. There's room for everyone. And I love that. But okay, you know, we do have some more for you guys to check out before we peace out of this joint. And don't forget to stay tuned because Stream for a Cause is also going to have their showcase. And I hope you watch the Black Voices in Gaming showcase because they also dropped some knowledge bombs.
Girl,
there.
it's not a hope. They better watch Black Voices in Gaming. They better watch it.
You heard it here.
I said it.
I'm pointing here, but she's probably over here. I don't know where they're going to put the camera. Anyways, Diana said it, so listen to her. She's incredibly smart. And let's keep going because after this, we're going to wrap up the show. But guys, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Okay, we're not done yet. I might order some more taquitos, and I'm about to slip back up into some DMs. So.
Oh, hold on a second.
I forgot to create the group. I'm gonna do that right now. I promise. I'm gonna do
you
it
cut
right
me
now.
out?
No,
you
I'm
cut
doing
me
it
out
right now. I'm doing it.
Okay. All right.
All right, guys. See you in a bit.
Hi, I'm Leah at Mouth Bottoms on all the socials, and I am a motion designer. I've been working in games for 4 years, but I've actually been doing motion design for over a decade at this point. As an only child with ADHD, I have spent so much time playing Harvest Moon on my GameCube that it's actually resulted in a real-life garden as an adult. So no one can say that I've never touched grass. As a lady who loves horror, puzzles, and incredible artwork, I'm very honored to get to introduce Indie.io. They've got a couple games coming out that are right up my alley, and I sure hope they're up yours too.
Hi Deans for Games, I'm Katie, Head of Marketing at Indie.io, formerly Freedom Games. I'm excited to be here today with two of my colleagues to talk to you about some of the upcoming games we're publishing. First up is Renaissance Kingdom Wars by Reverie World Studios. This game is a grand strategy RTS hybrid where players experience a unique blend of grand strategy on the world map and intense real-time battles on the ground. Lead your troops to victory and become a lord of a city as a reward, where you must manage the economy and carve a domain of your own. Next, we have Chronomon, developed by Stone Golem Studios. If you're a fan of monster tamers, farming sims, and pixel art, this game is tailor-made for you. Chronomon is a monster taming experience, but it incorporates beloved elements of simulation games such as farming, foraging, and cooking, creating a delightful blend of gameplay. Each playthrough is unique, thanks to branching storyline and choices that matter.
Hi, I'm Victoria, the QA manager here at Indie.io, and I wanted to tell you guys about two games that are coming up, which I'm really excited for. The first one is Everhome, which is a cute little game where Lily tries to find her sister in this strange world with strange people. I just really love the art style, and I love Lily even more. The second one is Immortal Hunters, where you play as a hero destined to fight off these terrible monsters in a world that is post-apocalyptic and controlled by the church. I just find it really cool, and it has amazing combat mechanics. I just really hope you love them as much as I do.
Hi, I'm Carrie King. I'm a game designer at Indie.io, and I kind of wanted just to give y'all some insight on some upcoming titles we have that I'm really excited about. First is Hauntsville. It is a Western horror survival base building kind of game. You can do it alone or with friends, and just building up your homestead in the Wild West while dealing with the horrors that haunt you. The other game that I'm really excited about is SCP Fragmented Minds. If you have any interest in the SCP franchise, definitely this is going to be one you have to check out. All I can really say is you will be quite immersed in the world, and especially Mars Site 113. So definitely go check the games out on Steam and give them a wish list.
Hello everyone, I'm Laura, co-founder of Party for Introverts, a London-based studio creating emotion-driven games. As a small team, my work at Party for Introverts includes serving as art director, producer, animator, and editor. Coming from a theater background, I especially love focusing on story and character development, creating worlds and experiences that resonate with the player. As such, I also serve as voice actor of the protagonists in our upcoming project, Cabernet. Cabernet is a 2D narrative RPG set in a 19th century Eastern European-inspired world with a modern twist. You play as Lisa, a young doctor in training turned vampire. In Cabernet, you must navigate your bloodlust and the choices of eternal life, uniquely confronting themes of alcoholism, corruption, and social conflict. Shift into a bat, hypnotize your meal, or become invisible. Battle your hunger and morality, deciding whether you'll drink just enough to survive or become consumed by the thrill of the hunt. If a taste of the vampiric life sounds appetizing to you, you can wishlist Cabernet now on Steam, as well as play our demo for a limited time. Many thanks to Dames for Games for shining a spotlight on so many incredible female-led games, and including Cabernet in this wonderful community. I hope you'll join me on Lisa's journey.
Hi Dames for Games, I'm Rita, a co-founder of Finchbird Studio as well as founder of Critical Reflex. So I'm here to talk about Freak Sleephead, that also happens to combine my two favorite things. So back when I was very young, I was fond of animation and games, and here I am working on my dream project that combines anime and dungeon crawling. In this game, you get to meet an amazing and colorful cast of characters, as well as explore all of the 9 circles of hell, hoping to save your soul, or at least, have some good time. Surprisingly enough, despite how some characters might look like, it's a female-only team that's main goal is to really make sure that these characters are just like us, are just like girls in real life, and not something that is artificially created just to cater the dating audience. My narrative squad, my girls Anna, Yana, and Marie, are working every day to create all of those hundreds of story events that all of you will get to enjoy once the game is out. For the game, we have incorporated a lot of the rhythm-based mechanics to make sure that you're having a very fresh and fun experience. As I said, the game is combining a lot of genres together. And I'm so happy to have Anna on our board to help us with making sure those are both fun and that they are very unique. Thank you for having us here. Bye Dames for Games. I am so happy to be able to talk about my favorite things.
Hi, I'm Charlotta. I'm one of the co-founders of the Swedish-based indie game studio Magnetic Lake. We are a developer duo currently making the game Paris, Transylvania. It's a vampire-slaying pachinko roguelike deck builder. We have combined elements we love from card games, roguelikes, and pig poppers to make the most fun and exciting deck builder that we can. In this game, you play as the cake-loving last queen of France, Marie Antoinette. As she escapes the guillotine in Paris, she flees, takes the wrong turn, and ends up in gloomy Transylvania. There she must battle the noble, wicked vampire clans that rule that world in order to free the people and become a hero. In my work, I'm all about storytelling and bringing exciting content, characters, and worlds to life. As a passionate gamer, this has been a dream of mine, and I'm really happy to be able to work in this industry. I also have a really soft spot for female heroes. I'm really happy to be able to bring her into this game. The game is available to play on Steam, and it plays fantastically, even though it's still a demo. If you want to share any feedback, ideas, please join our Discord. We would really love that. I also want to thank Dames for Games for including us and creating this space, and for celebrating women in games. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Well, guys and gals, it's that time. It's and you know what? We never really say goodbye, because what I've said before is what I'm gonna keep saying. We're gonna be back, and it's gonna be bigger, and it's gonna be better, and we're just gonna keep growing. But before I do say goodbye, and before Diana says goodbye, we want to give a shout out again to all of those who have helped us: Twitch, Steam, IGN, GameSpot, and to those amazing people who keep throwing all their money on us: HeroCraft, Indie.io. Yeah. Thank you so much, because without your support, without your help, we wouldn't be able to accomplish what we're doing. And to all of the other organizations out there who are creating spaces so people can feel seen and heard and feel respected in their own right. Huge shout out to Black Voices in Gaming, who has continued to uplift Black voices in the community. Huge shout out to Stream for a Cause, who we actually partnered with to do a scholarship, who continues to strive and uplift voices in the LGBTQ+ community. And everyone else out there doing the incredible work. Because listen, we don't all get paid for this, but we do it because we're passionate about it, and it's really, really important to us. So thank you. I appreciate you. My name is Destiny, if you didn't know. And I'm the creator of Dames for Games, and I do a lot of other things in the industry. And you can find me at DMVC32 pretty much anywhere. And if you find me on other platforms, keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself. I'm talking Instagram and Facebook. What are you thinking, Diana?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, so, and I'm Diana. Anyway, I'm Diana, and you can find me at girlpantsgr on Twitter, because it's always going to be Twitter and it'll never be X.
Always Twitter.
And then you could just go to my link tree right there, and then there's all my links right there. So wait, are we gonna put that right then?
We're gonna put it down here.
Can we can we have sparkles on it? Like,
I mean, I'll see if we can do sparkles. Right now we have stars and planets. She's asking for a lot. She's asking for a lot.
I'm doing it.
Oh, this is the sparkles. This is us doing the sparkles.
I'm doing it right here.
All right, guys. So that's it. That's the end of the show for now. But stay tuned, because we plan on doing some incredible things the rest of the year. And I forgot to drop this in, but I think this is the perfect thing, because I'm leaving the best for last. Go check out the Steam event, because all of the developers that we had on today's showcase, if they have a game on Steam, it is there. Go wishlist it. It's so important for them. It really helps them, you know, that conversion rate, those sales, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to make millionaires here, you know what I mean?
We gotta help people. We gotta help you. Wishlist those games. And there are so many fantastic games too. Can we talk about that for just like a hot second?
No, we can't. We absolutely can. There were a ton of fantastic games, a ton of incredible developers who came on to showcase their work in it. And you know what? I'm just so proud of us. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of Mary. You don't see Mary, but Mary's in the background doing her thing.
Yes,
I don't say much about Mary, but she's incredible. She's probably going to cut this out. Hopefully she doesn't, but Mary has done such incredible things. And I also want to give a shout out to the Dames for Games team. All of you who help kind of keep me going when I get really tired. Thank you. You continue to be pillars of support. So thank you, Diana.
Thank you. I mean, in a years and a half of strife and turmoil in this industry, it is so wonderful to see the potential and the future with everyone who we spoke to in the interviews, everyone who you know showcased their games. This is the light that we need right now. And like I said in the beginning, I'm so honored to be here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for being a friend. Ooh, 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 yeah. No. Okay, credits roll. Sorry. Take off the wig.
I didn't say. You gotta give it. Okay.
All right, guys. See you later. Love you.
Thank y'all.
Thanks for all your support.
Thank you. Now, when are you gonna send me those taquitos? I'm still waiting for
What? Oh, the DMs. I'm doing it right now.
Have you still not added me to the chat? What is wrong with you? Don't cut for time. Hold on a second. Don't cut us out.
I stream for a cause. Make a difference.
I stream for a cause.
To advocate for change.
I stream for a cause.
To be part of a community.
I stream for a cause.
To give back.
To give back.
Give back. Stream for a Cause is a nonprofit organization that collabs with streamers and content creators alike.
We work together to fundraise in order to provide grants to local
grassroots initiatives and nonprofits around the world.
They also offer a sustainable future program that is designed to create a supportive environment for organizations
to address their specific challenges with the end goal of organizational growth, resiliency, and sustainability. And it doesn't stop there.
And it doesn't stop there.
It doesn't stop there.
It doesn't stop there. Our fundraising campaigns like Paint the World Rainbow, Scream for a Cause, Indie Gamer Showcase, Safe Space Showcase,
and community programs like Streamer Funds Program and Pixel Care
allow us to continue to give back to organizations that align with causes that are important to us and our communities.
We are proud to announce that 100%
of the nonprofits we support are LGBTQIA2S+ friendly. Pixel Care is a program in collaboration with the Center for Suicide Awareness
designed to help content creators and community managers
with the skill to be mental health navigators by providing guidance for tough conversations,
becoming an active listener, and connecting to the resources that are able to help.
And the best part of Pixel Care is that it's free for content creators and their moderators.
If this is your first fundraiser,
or you've participated before,
Stream for a Cause will help you with the tools that you need to succeed.
please visit www.streamforcause.org for more information.
So join the cause.
So join the cause.
Join the cause.
So join the cause.
Join the cause.
Join us.
Stream for a Cause.
Every time I see that video, I'm always so excited because our volunteers are just so cool. Hi everybody, my name is Robbie and I'm the Executive Director of Stream for a Cause. SFAC is a great nonprofit that above all else believes in community. And our content creators, like the Funko Beard who put that video together, just really embody what it is that we look for in a community. I think for all of us, community can mean a lot of different things, and the reason I'm so passionate about indie games is that they have such a wonderful way of grasping what community can mean to different people. This year, for our Queer Indie Game Showcase, we were given this amazing opportunity to appear here on IGN, and we are so grateful for that. And to really draw home what community and diversity means, we asked all of these different studios, why is diversity important to you? And so today we're going to be taking a look at all of these different studios coming together to answer that question, show us diversity live and in person with their clips, their trailers, their games, and their values. So without drawing it out too much longer, let's have a moment to hear from Mooncube Games.
Hello, I'm Keith, one of the co-founders and art director at Mooncube Games. We're a 3-person indie studio from Montreal, Canada. Our first title, Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions, just released April of this year. Growing up as a queer black kid in the 90s, I loved playing RPGs and going on amazing adventures. There was nothing more exciting than leading a party of heroes into epic battles against world-ending villains. The spiky-haired protagonists and chivalrous frog knights were great characters whom I loved dearly, but I never found myself or my struggles represented in those stories. While this didn't take away from my enjoyment of the games, seeing a bit of myself reflected in those characters would have gone a long way to help me understand myself better. Now as an adult, it fills me with so much joy that I've been fortunate enough to co-found my own game studio with 2 close friends who share my values. We've made it a priority to create a safe and inclusive space for all players. My younger self would be thrilled to know that I now have the opportunity to express myself with so much freedom. Today, games are even more inclusive and diverse than before. It's amazing seeing so many diverse cultures and viewpoints represented in the games I love. Representation and diversity in games can inspire confidence and a sense of belonging. Not only is self-representation important, but experiencing other perspectives and identities in games is just as vital. Games have a unique ability to immerse players in different worlds and perspectives, allowing them to explore cultures and experiences they might not encounter in their everyday lives. This helps build understanding and empathy, something we think the world could use a little more of. When designing Spirit City, our main goal was to create a cozy space where players can feel safe and relax. A key component of coziness is a sense of belonging. When players can tailor characters to their preferences, they form a stronger emotional bond with them. It was important for us to offer players many ways to represent themselves, from hairstyles and skin tones to things some might consider insignificant, like various pride flags on coffee cups. Our players have told us how much they appreciate these small details, and it makes them feel seen. There's always more that can be done, and we want to keep learning how to create more inclusive experiences. We have such an amazing community that formed around Spirit City. We hope to continue to do right by them by actively listening to their feedback so even more players can feel represented. Thank you for listening and for your support. A big thanks to IGN and Stream for a Cause for giving us the opportunity to share our story.
Oh, well, hello, you two. Name's Sunder.
Isaac Brooks. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
So much has changed since we first met. For me, at least. Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Well, hello.
Hi.
Good day.
Hi, my name's Alejandro and I'm the board secretary of Stream for a Cause. I wanted to take some time to talk to you all today about something that's really key to Stream for a Cause's mission, and that's representation. Whether you're in the gaming industry or in an online space, it's very clear that representation has a long way to go. And I think that's one of the best things about Stream for a Cause is that it's a place where we don't just celebrate communities once a year, but we're dedicated year-round to making sure that we uplift them, we connect, we empower with leaders like you and me to make a difference about the things that we care about the most. Understanding that Stream for a Cause is really dedicated to working with small and grassroots nonprofits is very important, but the same thing goes for our people. We don't care how many followers somebody has, we're just interested in people who are ready to make a difference. If you're somebody who cares about making our world better, there's not just a place for you at SFAC, but an entire community and a commitment to doing what we love for a cause. Now let's look at some more games.
Hello, my name is Raleigh Hansen, and I am a member of the Stream for a Cause Board of Directors. On behalf of all of Stream for a Cause, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the indie studios and developers that have worked and supported Stream for a Cause, our events, and our volunteers over the past 4 years. Indie games are a massive part of the games that our volunteers in our communities play, and are often central to Stream for a Cause's programming in events like the upcoming Queer Indie Games Showcase. The support from indie developers and studios helps make our events accessible to everyone who wants to participate, whether by donating game codes, uplifting voices, or generally elevating the work that we're capable of doing, including providing support for our community fund program, our Sustainable Futures coaching program, our Pixel Care mental health support program, and by providing direct streamer support for our volunteers. Again, I would like to acknowledge all of the studios and sponsors that have given us support, so thank you for all that you do. Now, let's check out some more games.
They came for my home. They came for my friends. They came for my family. Now, I control time itself. I will use this power to change history, no matter what the cost. The Empire has taken everything I love. I will destroy them all. No one will stop me.
It's been awesome to have Logitech set these spaces for us to be able to have these conversations in these really brilliant and profound ways, and we want
So Streamlabs is joined together with the Asian Mental Health Collective, which I feel like is such a beautiful mash of those two things.
Logitech, thank you so much for creating this space for all of us to talk about these important issues and the things that drive us and really keep us going in this space.
This year, AET returns with over $30,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs.
Diversity in gaming matters. It's not just about representation, it's about fostering a sense of belonging. Inclusive games empower people with disabilities, combat social isolation, and enhance cognitive skills.
Stream for a Cause. I think I've worked with them for the last 3 years. It's amazing to see all of the way the community has grown, the people that have done huge tournaments. Like I'm a DBD girly, so being able to see the money and the funds that are raised, the messaging that's able to be done. And what's so cool about Stream for a Cause is that, you know, you can give your money to organizations that sometimes it feels like you're doing a drop in the hat. I mean, every charity donation is very important. However, because they give out micro grants and it not only supply the funding, but they also give their expertise. They've got an amazing board, they've got an amazing programming committee. So they don't just give them a check and then walk away. They provide circumspective support for those that they support financially, which I absolutely love.
Right away, here's California Reapers supposedly. I'm not feeling it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Why am I doing things? What?
Oh!
What is wrong with you?
Unlocked. Get some shaving cream on my face.
We reached our goal! Woo!
Three. That was so hard!
Oh my god!
What is that thing?
I'm not eating another marshmallow.
I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. She's gorgeous.
But it's for charity. So, that's for charity.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Kay. God, why do you talk? What? It was, excuse me? Hi, Gay. Happy Proud Month. Thank you so much for
Oh my god, that
$1,069 donation.
$1,069 donation from Got Lunch.
Thank you for donating. You hit our goal. Oh, we hit our third goal, our third stretch goal. Oh my god, I can appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Just a casual like 94 hours. It's gone. I slept. My brain reset a little bit. I appreciate everybody. As much as it's like I wanted to end and all of that too, to some degree, I am blown away by all the generosity.
Hi, my name is Morgan from the Game Bakers.
Hi, I'm Lauren from the Game Bakers. You may know us for our games Fury and Haven.
Fury is an intense boss rush where you fight your way to freedom.
In Haven, you play as a couple who left everything behind so they could be together.
Our main focus is making games you remember long after playing.
One of the ways we do that is by creating stories you have a strong emotional connection to. We want our stories to speak to everyone and players to identify with our characters, so they really resonate with what they're going through.
Love stories always end badly.
Ours doesn't.
No, not ours. But ours isn't a story. It's even better. It's real life.
Devs play a big role in making gaming more inclusive.
We decide what our stories and characters look like and what our accessibility menu allows. For us, it means providing people with games they can play and characters that look like them or have the same aspirations as them.
I was just thinking, there has to be others, right? Others like us, who love one another, trying to escape the matchmaker?
I'm sure. So?
Well, I was wondering, shouldn't we, help them? Send them a message? Tell them about Source?
The couples update for Haven was our way to live up to that. We couldn't ship the game with all the couples we had originally planned, but it didn't seem right to only have a playable straight couple in a game about the freedom to love who you want. Adding the option to choose their genders was a huge commitment for our indie studio, both in terms of time and money. But it was the right thing to do.
Haven, a lot like Fury, is a game about freedom.
In Haven, you escape your home planet to be with the person you love. There's a clear connection to the queer community, and we really appreciate your support. Thank you, and happy Pride.
Hi, I'm Labarella, and one of my favorite things about working with Stream for a Cause is their focus on equity and working with organizations across the globe that give voice to those who need it most. Being able to use my platform to raise awareness for these organizations has meant so much to me as a content creator. Now, check out some of these other games.
Hey everyone, I'm Rob Thompson, one of the co-founders of Game Big Games. We're a queer-led indie game studio focused on creating story-rich games.
And I am Felipe Casina, the lead designer here at Ganymede Games.
And we are super excited to be here today to be part of the Queer Indie Showcase, celebrating diversity in the gaming community. For us, diversity on our team isn't just a buzzword, it's our competitive advantage. Think about it. Everyone today has largely the same game engines, the same tools, the same desks, computers, but it's the people that make the difference.
Absolutely. And sci-fi has always given us a vision of an inclusive future. From Star Trek to so many notable science fiction novels and series, it's a genre that has the power to build empathy and ask powerful what-if questions.
And that's what inspired us to create our debut game, Dark Sky, a narrative-driven sci-fi RPG featuring a rich world, compelling alien characters, and a fresh take on deck building.
Dark Sky is coming to Steam later this year, but for now, here's a peek at the game.
Big thanks to A Stream for the Cause and IGN for putting this event together. A shout out to all the other devs doing amazing work.
Thank you, and thanks for supporting diverse voices in gaming.
My name is Surreal, and I want to chat with y'all about the power of video games. Video games have the power to make us feel like gods, and the power to take us to places far beyond this earthly realm. Video games balance the power of nostalgia and of change, and whether it's for good, evil, or something in between, video games have the power to conquer. Sometimes they wield the cozy power of whimsy, and sometimes they have power of epic scale and proportions. Better clear those hard drives. Sometimes they have the power of defying expectation, and sometimes they have the power to make us fall in love with the monsters that haunt our nightmares. I gotta be real, sometimes video games are just plain stupid, and sometimes the power is pocket-sized. Sometimes the power comes from empowerment. Video games have the power to make us feel seen by the people that don't understand us, by the people that don't know us, even by the people that admire or hate us. Video games have the power to show new perspective, to show new worlds, to show us sides of ourselves we haven't seen before. Video games have the power to make us feel seen by those we love, and to help us feel seen by those we'd otherwise never know. Video games have the power to reveal new worlds to us, because we are the architects. Video games reflect us as art imitates life. And baby, that is surreal. Game on, gamers. Happy Pride, and keep it real.
This VTuber charity showcase aims to bring virtual streamers to a space normally dominated by flesh tubers. We want to show off their designs, lore, and bring them in on some events like game shows and a D&D one-shot so that you learn more about them. Each of these VTubers will be hosting their own personal events where they plan to do giveaways, let you interact with their streams, or earn rewards as part of a community, all to raise funds for amazing nonprofits to stream for a cause.
The reason I and many other volunteers choose to work with Stream for a Cause is because not only are they a nonprofit, but they provide so many other resources. From programs like their community fund, Sustainable Futures, Pixel Care, and streamer support, Stream for a Cause aims to support other nonprofits in the long term while also making events like these less daunting for streamers.
Making VTubing the main focus is exciting. There are a lot of new ways for people to express themselves this way.
With that, let's take a look at some more games in this showcase.
I'm Tara, Hazel Wild's granddaughter. Nice to meet you.
Oh my gosh, you look so good!
Do you believe in witches?
I love you, Tara Wild.
Hi there, Matthew White, CEO at Whitethorn Games. We couldn't be prouder of the diversity of games that we offer, but more importantly, the diverse experiences and lives of the creators that we partner with across the world enable us to bring you those kinds of diverse, interesting experiences. I'd love for you to take some time to listen a little bit to what they have to say.
Why is inclusivity and representation important to me in the games I make? I want more people to see themselves represented in the games they play, to really identify with the characters and be inspired by storylines that resonate with them. When we prioritize including the wants and needs of different types of people into games, we won't just see the same clones launching over and over. We'll create more unique experiences and welcome more people into games.
Everyone deserves to see themselves in the media they consume. We want players to find joy by feeling seen, heard, and accepted for who they are.
When it comes to building our experiences, representation is embedded in the ethos. That's because we aim to inspire the audiences that we want to include. To cut it short, there's a lot of power in getting to see yourself as the hero of your own adventure.
as you look out into the world, you'll see all kinds of different people. And for us as developers, it's really important that we reflect those differences and celebrate them in our games. People can see themselves represented and feel welcome. Because after all, video games are for everyone. And that's something that's very central to our next indie game, Mythwrecked Ambrosia Island.
Our mission as a company has always been to tell stories that people have never heard before. And one of the best ways to do that is to represent, uplift, and work with audiences that haven't been heard in the games industry. And that's one of the reasons that diversity, inclusion, and accessibility are so important to us. We'd love to give you a sneak peek at one of our games that's doing just that, Mythwrecked Ambrosia Island. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Elicity Wood, and I play Alex, the unlikely hero of Mythwrecked Ambrosia Island. Alex is taking a much-needed break from modern life when her vacation is cut short by a mysterious storm, which shipwrecks her on a forgotten island. Fortunately, the island is home to a dysfunctional family of oddballs, the long-lost Greek gods. The plot thickens. They have no recollection of who they are, and they've each shut themselves away in a different part of the island. So, it's up to you to save the gods. Explore the island, make new friends, return their memories, and solve the mystery of their lost identities. We can't wait to welcome you to the shores of Ambrosia Island later this year.
Hi there, I'm Marvelous, the current chair of the board for Stream for a Cause. And in my free time, I like to put on a little chapstick and mascara. At Stream for a Cause, we're changing how we give back through content creation. We think many important organizations are often overlooked in charity streaming because they don't have content creator programs. So we team up with streamers in their communities, raising funds that we turn into grants for smaller nonprofits worldwide. Our mission? To make sure that your donations have the biggest impact possible, supporting organizations that are dedicated to community growth. We believe streamers of any size, any genre of content creation in any community can make a difference. To join us in our mission, make sure to follow us on social media, join our Discord to see more information on events, outreach, and opportunities, and make sure to be a volunteer today by going to www.streamforacause.org. A big thank you to our volunteers, sponsors, and donors. For your unwavering support is the backbone of our mission, to revolutionize charitable giving through content creation. Thanks to your generosity, we can continue empowering community-centered streamers and provide vital support for grassroots nonprofits worldwide, ensuring a brighter future for the communities they serve.
Hi, I'm Richard Mansfield, he, him. I am the writer and director of Ink Inside.
Ink Inside is a action RPG with dodgeball meets beat 'em up combat and the heart of a Saturday morning cartoon. Saturday morning cartoons aimed for kids, and a lot of kids are struggling with their identities and struggling with feeling like they can fit, struggling with feeling like confident or comfortable in who they are. And having a diverse cast is a way for kids to see that and find themselves in some kind of game, is a way for them to now feel confident about who they are. And we need to be able to feel like there's other ones of us out there, and being able to represent a story that is a very diverse cast makes it so we all feel a little bit closer together.
Wait, I can become a Sogged?
Yeah, you're just a drawing. And that's what happens when drawings get wet. They get soggy.
Hi, I'm Sydney Hale. I'm the lead animator for Ink Inside, and I'm also the voice actress for Vampire Princess. I grew up as a girl who loved video games, and being a bigger girl, I never saw a plus-size character who wasn't the comedic relief, but I really wanted to see characters who looked like me, who were girly, and could fight or find love, or just be whatever they wanted to be. I now strive to make characters that I wish I saw when I was younger.
If you didn't notice yet, everything here is a drawing. Drawings made by Hannah. Even us.
Hello everyone, my name is Radiant G, he, him, and I am the producer and one of our voice actors on Ink Inside. Diversity matters to me in games because there are so many different walks of life in this world, and if you bring a bunch of people together to tell a story that matters to them, a story that may not have been seen before, you're gonna get newer, fresher, more interesting content.
Karate! I'm not cursed. I'm the princess of cursing.
We also hired a full cast of recognizable VO talent, including Brian David Gilbert for Stick, who plays the lead, and Deneen Melody, who plays Traff.
The way that Stick and Traff bounce off each other and work together is just a very interesting character dynamic. They both respect each other but challenge each other. It can be played single player, but Ink Inside is a co-op game.
And then there's Hannah, who is the creator of the notebooks, and she's half Filipina, half white, like me. And I've never seen that in a game before. So it's very exciting to see that. Richard wrote an amazing story and included backgrounds and nuances that you don't often see in traditional media that we need to see more of.
If Ink Inside interests you, please check us out on Steam and give us a wish list. You can also check out our socials at BlackfieldENT on Twitter and at Ink Inside Game on TikTok.
He got the silliest dream they'd ever heard. They said he wanted to become a knight.
The swordless knight that changed the fate of the kingdom for the rest of eternity. Adderson, the Beast Slayer! Was he actually doing cartwheels? I have high quality standards for my ancestors.
Adderson, son of Gerfaz of the upper fields right here for you. All day, every day. I'm just your run-of-the-mill prairie buck, man. Whoa.
For your information, everyone already thinks that Rose are thick-skulled.
Joseph! There you are!
Ugh, give me a break.
You're many, many things, dear, but subtle is not one of them.
I know an obsession when I see one.
Alas, your fair maiden is in another alley.
Boss! You're gonna end up giving someone a heart attack if you don't quit sneaking up on people like that, you know.
He told me quite a bit about you, his beloved boss.
You're lucky I can't have you arrested, you unruly little beast.
Who are you again?
It's Adderson of the upper field.
How can a country boy with ambitions as great as yours go on living, knowing he can't aspire to more than his deplorable life?
Farmhands don't become knights.
Then I guess the only question I've got left is this going anywhere at all?
Do I have to say yes or no to get out of here alive?
You have some excellent survival skills, if nothing else.
Hi everyone, my name is Riley, or The Glitch Gamer. I am the creator of the Indie Showcasers. We are currently doing our Queer Indie Game Showcase where we are celebrating queer-made or queer-themed indie games. We have a week-long event going from June 9th through the 15th. I hope you guys can join us in watching and celebrating queer-made, queer-themed games. Our goal and mission with the Indie Showcasers is to create an accessible charity event for everyone to participate. and have game keys available for anyone and everyone who wants to participate, because there should never be any barriers between charity and gaming. And yeah, I think it's a wonderful thing that we do, and I hope to see you there.
So you're excited after all?
As if.
Oh well, my mistake. Now, your job is to go to each of the patients' rooms and spend some time with them. Got that?
Yep.
The name's Esther. What's yours?
Casey.
Casey. Very original. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to go solve a mystery about a goat.
Is this you?
Oh yes, that's me. And the family.
Would you like some company?
Of course. Be warned, I am riding up a storm at the moment.
You weren't in the war?
We escaped. Anna and myself.
I'm doing work experience.
Deadly? Well, working up here is an experience, alright?
Now, as you know, my room happens to be beside the nurse's station.
You were listening in on them. Got the picture.
We are to have a visitor.
Something's fishy, if you ask me.
I exhort you all to follow her every command as we prepare for tomorrow.
You both know the drill here. Regardless of what's going on.
Patience first.
Dr. Bouchard?
What are you here for? Time to turn me sunny side up?
You think I'm trying to kill you?
You've been picking foxglove and slipping it down the dumbwaiter. Death by 1,000 slurps. Director.
Mr. Pettigrew?
I have seen that you talk.
I will speak with him about your case.
Thank you.
How are you finding your time on the ship?
I hear people talk about things, but I'm not sure what they're on about.
That sounds a bit like the life of an older person. Nobody explains to us what's going on. We just have to piece it together as best we can.
There has never been a better time to be a geek. A common phrase I hear whenever I'm in the discussion of geekdom and the changing times. From the meteoric rise of tabletop gaming to Marvel's Avengers Endgame, grossing nearly $2.8 billion globally, to almost everyone from young children to adults to grandparents, all either having games on their phones or PC battle stations with hundreds of titles in their library. It really seems to me like everyone is a geek nowadays. But this wasn't always the case. Back in the early 90s and 2000s, geekiness and having hyperfixations on your favorite video games and shows and comics, or anything not made for the daytime audience, was seen as something to be ashamed of. If you were into computers or anime, you were weird. Gaming provided a safe space where you could be the hero, or part of a band of adventurers, and otherwise feel like you belonged. But while researching for this segment, I rewatched an old video by one of my favorite creators, MadPat, specifically his video, Game Theory, Are Video Games Anti-LGBT? In his video, while discussing the very famous Cloud cross-dressing scene from Final Fantasy VII, he also discovers a trend, a worrying trend that video game characters who are cross-dressers or LGBT are often villains, mentally challenged, inhuman, or otherwise some other villainous combination. Geeks and gamers are often shunned and ostracized by their peers, and so I was thinking that these two groups would work together to kind of combat the prejudices. But no, in the early 2000s, like what MatPat was saying, LGBT characters in video games are often the villains or the bad guys, and to be seen as an other. And sure, some video game characters are well received, like Vivian in the Paper Mario A Thousand Year Door, or Street Fighter's Eagle, both a trans woman and a gay man respectively. But in their North American releases, they're censored. So it's kind of problematic. Why does diversity and representation matter to me in gaming? Like in all hobbies, we gravitate towards spaces where we feel like we're welcome, or where we feel safe. We want to spend our time with people who enjoy these things just like us. And despite games often being labeled as single player, I really feel like whenever we play games, we want to talk to each other about the things we're experiencing and share our experiences with our friends. And if a game depicts certain groups or certain people as villainous or otherwise not normal, that can seriously hurt and affect young people's perceptions of others and themselves. Think children and young people learning from these sources, whether it be their teachers, their parents, their peers, or the media. If the media is telling them that, hey, these video game characters and these gay video game characters are villains, then that can really distort the perception of these young people's minds. Bardic Quest for Love is a game that I hold very near and dear to my heart. I've been working on it for the past 4 years now, and I've learned many things, and I think I can finally answer that question. Representation matters to me because I want people to feel like they're welcome, that it's okay for them to be here, and that they aren't the villains or bad people for being who they are. Video games are such a powerful storytelling tool that I truly believe that video games really are for everyone.
Hi, I'm Anna, and my pronouns are they, them. I'm a game developer, content creator, and a licensed animal nurse. I've worked on several LGBTQIA+ games, including First Bite and Arcade Spirits. I grew up playing video games, and while I cherish those memories, it wasn't until I played Horizon Zero Dawn that I truly felt represented by a character. Aloy, not only being a heroic femme character, had to deal with being bullied as a child and outcasted by her people. Her resilience and courage to never give up during those times truly touched my heart. Aloy's journey spoke to me so deeply that I cried. It was such a magical moment to me, and it filled me with such joy to feel seen in an industry that often overlooks the stories from marginalized people. I want everyone to get to experience that same feeling that I had and see themselves in the stories and the games that they play. This is just one of the many reasons why having representation in games is so important. Video games are for everyone, and everyone should be allowed to connect with those games on an emotional and personal level. As part of a team of like-minded game developers, having characters from different backgrounds, races, gender expression, and sexuality is second nature to us, because it reflects our own diverse team. And if our small indie team can help others see themselves in games, or can inspire other marginalized people to make games to tell their own stories, then that alone shows how important diversity and representation are. There are so many unique and different people out there in the world, and gaming should always reflect that, because, like my own story, it changed my entire experience with gaming for the better, and everyone deserves to feel that joy of belonging and validation through the games we play.
You gonna need any help with that power cell hookup?
Nah, I'm good. Gonna test the connection. How's yours look, baby?
Voltage adapter in place. Ready to rock.
Hit it.
While aboard Tacoma Station, please remember that all activity on this facility is monitored by AR recording.
It's been a year now since our crew has cycled onto the station.
Personally, I'm happy for us.
Happy to be stuck up here with these people for another year.
Debris has...
Medium fire?
48 hours of breathable air.
So we've got no air supply, no way to call for help.
Minnie, I'm headed in.
Need to figure out how to do everything we can to set this mission up for success.
I can't do it. This is all crazy.
We know it's not safe working up here.
But BT could...
BT's not coming.
The clock is ticking.
Odin, I'm freaking out.
Close your eyes.
We are the co-founders of Fulbright, and we hope that you'll enjoy finding out how Tacoma was made.
I mean, isn't it strange? We've never felt the Earth's pulled together. One day.
One day.
Lost girl, I know I'm not a lost girl, but this is all new, and I don't know what to do.
A killer is on the loose.
Calliope! Please, come on.
Do you really expect us to believe that Calliope chose you?
We are the chorus, the gods who remain, hidden in your modern world. I'm afraid you have to die.
This isn't justice! I can prove myself. Everybody can feel the agony that's hidden there. Everybody can see the shallow grave we're digging here. Everybody, should we endure, should we interfere? Everybody, should I be part of this or disappear? Everybody wants to see you fall in love.
You can make us sing, but the song will always be ours.
Wow, today's showcase has been absolutely fantastic. We've heard from so many studios, communities, and content creators who really value diversity in their communities. I want to give a huge shout out to IGN and thank them so much for allowing us to have this place in the showcase today. And I also want to thank all of the studios and participants who have made Stream for a Cause what it is. Truly, we would not be here without you. On behalf of everybody at SFAC, I just want to give a big thank you to everybody who stayed with us for this hour, to the volunteers who support our work, and to the organizations that allow us to be part of their families and support the work that they're doing around the world. Lastly, we have one other video for you, and that's our friends over at Mighty Yell. I think that they have something that's really important for us to hear, and I can't wait for you to hear it. Thanks so much.
All right, Stream for a Cause. My name's Dave Proctor. I'm the director at Mighty Yell. I'm getting pretty sweaty out here. So let's answer your question. Why does diversity and representation in games matter to your team? And honestly, it's because people matter. Games are a small part of life. And if you spend all your time on the internet, you're not going to know that. But the part that matters is the rest of it. The part that matters is the people that are out there when the games stop. And there's so many people out there. And they are amazing. They are queer, and they are trans, and they are disabled. They are different genders, they are different ethnicities. They grew up differently than you. And I think hearing the stories of people that grew up differently than you, I think that's the most important thing that we can do on this planet. I used to say that, like, you know, diversity of team members and diversity of opinions makes a better game, and that is true. That is objectively true. And, you know, we try to prove that every time we have a design meeting. But it's not the most important part. I want to hear stories about people that didn't grow up like me. I want to hear stories about, you know, people that aren't white, straight-passing, handsome men from the suburbs. I want to hear stories told by people that didn't grow up like me, because I think that makes life richer. I think that makes life better. And again, games are great. They are a beautiful medium where you can do anything. You can do anything in a game. And you want to use that medium to just tell the same stories by the same people, about the same people? I don't want that. I don't think we should have that. I don't think we should strive for that. I think we can actually get to the meat of what it means to connect to somebody else through this medium. And though games are just a small part of life, They are a great part of life. And they can reflect the diverse and exceptional beauty of life, of the people that you get to meet. If you can't identify with a game because its protagonist doesn't look like you, I want you to ask yourself why. Because a good story is a good story. And a good game is made of a good story by different people. Thanks. Appreciate your time.
And now we'd love to give thanks to some fantastic content creators, people like Morgue Mistress, Queen of Darkness, Funko Beard, not to be confused with Funko Bear. Hey, look, it's Blobberella, Ella, A. There's King Bay, fun fact, not actually a king or a bay. Marisol Lords, your favorite drag queen's favorite drag queen, and isn't she just Adora Brie? Our board members include wonderful people like Marvel S, long may she reign, and Alex, this is my 5th time doing this take, Erdenberger. We have our staff, Robbie and Ryan as well, a big thanks to them. And of course, Out of This World Studios, giving us Out of This World support alongside all of these other fantastic sponsors. We wouldn't be able to do this without giving a big thanks to all of the indie showcasers that have helped us out in the month of June in the Queer Indie Game Showcase. And of course, happy gaming, everybody.